quick screen to Cobb. He's got space, he's got some blockers. Cobb's going to take it for a first down. He had some blockers, but that's a nice tackle there at midfield. Richardson takes a snap, hands it off inside to Jana. He's got some space. This will be his longest run of the game. Handoff, rolls to his left. It's knocked down. Nice play by Townsend. Richardson's going to keep it himself. Roll to his right. He's got a man, and it is complete. On the far sideline, he looks to the left. He's got some, and he's going to be sacked in the end zone. Simon Fraser looking to keep this game close. Smith looking over the middle. He's got it. No, it's intercepted. Matt Duda with a great interception. Great read. Got a man. He's got Buren. Buren's got it. Folks, he is going to go. He will not be stopped. There's no flags on the play. Touchdown, Clan!
Anthem. To Terry Fox Field atop Burnaby Mountain. Howard Samura here, Clan TV. So happy to bring you this web stream broadcast of Simon Fraser University football. The Clan and Azusa Pacific set to do battle here right on campus atop Burnaby Mountain, Terry Fox Field. It should be a good one. We have two teams winless on the season within the GNAC conference, and you know, both teams hungry for a victory. Nobody hungrier than the Simon Fraser Clan football team, which hasn't tasted victory in a couple seasons. Would love to put that streak behind them here today, but they've got a formerly national-ranked foe in Azusa Pacific, and an angry one at that, coming off that walk-off 17-16 loss last week to Central Washington. As you see, the Cougars now coming onto the field dressed in their whites to face the Clan dressed in their home reds here today. Simon Fraser itself coming off of a big loss last week. 72-14 was the final score at Humboldt State, but that game very, very close. Just before the half, Simon Fraser trailed 21-14 in the second quarter. 51 straight points by Humboldt State. Just shows you the battles here for head coach Kelly Bates as he tries to build depth into the Simon Fraser University depth chart. He talking to Coach Bates earlier this week, and boy, it's a tough one when you're able to hang with a top program like Humboldt State, only to run out of energy, not enough horses on that depth chart, and really tough for the Clan in the second half of that football game. We mentioned as well Azusa Pacific. This team ranked very highly in the national polls at one point of the season, as high as number 8 in the national D2 rankings, and they have fallen out of those rankings and would love to restore some of that football credibility back within their program today with a road win against this Simon Fraser Clan football team. If there's one person we need to talk about today, it is the sophomore receiver Gavin Cobb. He kept SFU in the game during the first half with a pair of touchdown catches. The second set up by his own 83-yard kickoff return. Cobb had an incredible performance, 6 kickoff returns for 224 yards, and Gavin Cobb, one of the all-purpose leaders in D2 football and one of the top-ranked overall kick return specialists in Division II. A very special player, and you'll see him on the field today, special teams and within that offense for the Simon Fraser Clan. A great job as well by the QB, Miles Richardson. He's 20 of 41 last week for 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. And running back Jalen Jana, 52 yards on 9 carries yesterday. The ceremony on the field right now for, I believe, trainer Al Best being honored here before this game, and so many years of great service to Clan athletics. You may be able to hear the voice of our public dress announcer, Nick Sersky, here today.
Sister-in-law Connie
lets
Penman
the stadium know
and
what's
her
happening
husband,
here
John
with
Penman.
the honoring of Al Best, and very, very fitting here before this football game getting underway. And take a look through the field glasses and see Al wearing number 17 coming out along with Ben Meinecker and Justin Buren. So Al Best going out there with a couple of Clan players for the ceremony at the 50-yard line. And nice to see the tradition of Clan athletics being honored here today. We talk about some of the factors to look at today in this football game, and we talked about depth within the Simon Fraser Clan team. Look at their starting group at the skill positions on offense, and you're going to see a lot of capability here. Clearly right up there with the best in the GNAC, and we'll see if we can get some quality performances from the offensive and defensive lines here today to allow a lot of that good stuff to happen for the Simon Fraser Clan. Take a look at Azusa Pacific's result last week. We mentioned in Glendora, California, that 17-16 loss to Central Washington. The Wildcats kicking a 42-yard field goal with a second left to steal that win. The Cougars appeared to have pulled off a miracle win with the hook and ladder play on the ensuing kickoff, but that was negated by an illegal forward pass. And with the loss, Azusa Pacific fell to 1-2 overall, 0-2 in the GNAC. And as we mentioned, dropping out of the AFCA Division II coaches poll for the first time this season. Still receiving some votes there, but no longer within the national poll. In 2016, Azusa Pacific, two convincing wins over Simon Fraser. 64-14 and 57-0 were the two scores there as we get down to just before a minute before kickoff here at Terry Fox Field. Also, I think huge kudos to the new athletic director here at Simon Fraser University, Teresa Hansen. Her move to bring Simon Fraser football back on top of the mountain here, I think, is a huge move in terms of building the on-campus community here, and we will be having a full season of Simon Fraser University football. Of course, the excitement around the new covered seating stadium to be built into Terry Fox Field over the next couple of years, and I think the students getting involved with getting a more permanent home for Clan football and Clan soccer. We are looking at our screen here, and a nice view of the Clan field. We can let you know that today's SFU football clans on Clan TV is being live streamed. You can watch it at athletics.sfu.ca/live. The game also available on demand at athletics.sfu.ca/on-demand. And the opening kickoff has got us going here from Terry Fox Field. Simon Fraser with the return, and they're going to get a stop there on Gavin Cobb, number 11, on the return at about his own 15-yard line. So the Azusa Pacific special teams on their game, knowing Cobb is the dangerous man on the kick return, getting down there and limiting his gain on the opening kickoff here. So Simon Fraser 1st and 15. So the mark it at their own 13-yard line for the quarterback, Miles Richardson, the transfer out of Eastern Washington. Jalen Jana in the backfield along with Richardson. The snap, the high snap, the handoff. Fake it and go to Gavin Cobb, and he's going to make the catch. It's up to about the 23-yard line for a first down. Nice precise route running there by Gavin Cobb, getting it to the marker and making a nice catch from Richardson. So a completion to start the game here for the Simon Fraser Clan. Justin Buren lining up to the near side of the field. Two receivers on the top here as Richardson takes another high snap, little pitch. And the Clan break free as they go to the sideline over the 30-yard line. A fumble on the play, and it looks like Azusa Pacific has the football. Quentin Fraser got down on that ball immediately. Nathan Kiami had the football there and made a nice run up to about the 35-yard line, but a fumble on the play. And we're hoping to get a replay here on our video screen. You see it right there. Number 21 getting in there for that loose football. Quentin Fraser, big play, sets up Azusa Pacific 1st and 10 at the Clan 32-yard line. Simon Fraser cannot afford to play the giveaway game, and early on a nice foray up the field is ended by that fumble by Kiami. And here come the Cougars. Handoff, hard yards up the middle to about the 32-yard line. Scobie with the football there, down to about the 26-yard line. Brad Lyons, the Terry Fox product out of Port Coquitlam, making the stop on the play there. Called second and about 4.5 here for Azusa Pacific. Elfers the handoff, fakes it. Was looking to the sideline, is going to get sacked, taken down hard. And getting in there, number 34, Trevor Kemp, and number, looked like Jacob Mozil, number 51, was it? Oh, number 50, excuse me. Brad Lyons also in there as well, and we'll take a replay look here on Clan TV. Pressure, and Elfers takes the hard hit as he goes down under defensive pressure from the Clan. Move it back, call it 3rd and 9 now. Elfers, middle of the field, can't make the tough catch there. And that was Gavin McDaniel. So Simon Fraser coughing up the football at their own 35, but coming with back-to-back defensive plays here. So as they line up now, this is going to be a long field goal attempt here by Azusa Pacific. Fake snap, they snap to the kicker, and they are going to get the first down by about 2 yards. Pulling out the gadget play here early on, and it's number 36, Jacob Hall, the junior. Replay here to take a look at that. And he takes off straight for the sidelines, fools Simon Fraser's special teams. And he knows where that marker is as Hall heads to the sidelines. Taken out of bounds there by Matt Duda, number 4. But a first down keeps this drive alive for Azusa Pacific. Of course, trying to cash in on the fumble recovery at the Clan 35. Elfers will hand off, and that's Scobie with a football, heading to the far sidelines, cuts it in. And the tackle made there, we're trying to get the number. And the tackle there made by number 34, Trevor Kemp. Second and 3 here as the Cougars keep going. I mentioned off the top, both these teams still looking for that first win in the GNAC. Scobie the handoff, probes the line, battles for some hard yards, and gets inside the 10-yard line to about the 7. Kurt Scobie, 5'8", 180, a junior, and a familiar name up here to Clan football fans. So first and goal now for the Azusa Pacific Cougars. Hand off to Scobie up the middle, met by a host of Clan tacklers and driven back. Might have gained a yard there to about the 5-yard line. Let's see where they spot that. Stout defense there by Simon Fraser, up the middle. Scott Mackey, number 92, the defensive lineman, the redshirt freshman out of Yakima, Washington, in there to make the stop for Simon Fraser. Second and goal just inside the 5 for Andrew Elfers and the Azusa Pacific Cougars. See if the Clan can get some pressure out of that defensive line here again, and they're going to have to stop Scobie. Elusive on the goal line, battling at about the 3-yard line. So the Clan doing their best to limit one of the top running backs here in the GNAC as we take a look at that replay on Clan TV. Patience here from Scobie as he probes the line, finds a crease, but met by 2 Clan tacklers and driven back. One of them was Luca Bellini, the St. Thomas More product, in there on the goal line, making a nice play defensively. Third and goal, big huge one here for the Clan. Can they keep Azusa Pacific out of the end zone? First drive of the game for the visitors. Fake by Elfers. He is going to get across and get in for the touchdown. So nice fake there in the backfield to Scobie, and the quarterback will take it himself. 6'3", 220, the senior of Arcadia, California, Andrew Elfers, in for the touchdown. You take a look at the replay again on Clan TV. Great first cut there by Elfers as he finds his way into the end zone. Extra point now, snap, and the kick is up, and it is good, or rather it is wide. They are going to miss the extra point. That was Jake Girardi, 6'3", 220-pound freshman from Oceanside, California, missing with the extra point. So the Clan dodging a bit of a bullet there. And ball protection is going to be key here for Simon Fraser as they get ready to take possession of this football.
Wander over and say hello to our football alumni here today.
So first possession of the game for Azusa Pacific. They cash it in for the touchdown as we watch them go down the field. Very Elfers and Scobie oriented. Charter Bus Lines, the official motor coach of Simon Fraser Athletics, is proud to support SFU football and all Clan teams. The Charter Bus Lines dedicated to providing safe and comfortable transportation to your games throughout the Pacific Northwest. You can visit them at charterbuslines.com. Our apologies to producer Gablin. We'll get all this stuff straight here with the promos throughout the course of the broadcast. My first broadcast of the year, so here is Cobb with the football, so dangerous, shakes the tackler, is going backwards though, and Cobb is going to get taken down, number 20, with a big tackle there. That's Ben Sukat, the defensive back, the redshirt freshman, San Juan Capistrano, with a big stop there on Gavin Cobb of the Clan. And when you lead the conference in kickoff returns to the extent that Cobb does right now, those 6 returns last week for 224 yards, you are going to become a part of that opposition game plan, and certainly, you know, that head coach Victor Cruz and company put Gavin Cobb as one of the number 1 priorities heading into this football game. A great job by Azusa Pacific special teams there. Hem the Clan in inside their own 10-yard line. 1st and 10 Clan at their own 8. Take the handoff, Richardson. Short little pass, dumps it off. He's got a man, and it's Cobb. He's everywhere on the field up to about the 22-yard line. Flags on the play here, but Gavin Cobb, target on that play. Richardson dumps a short little pass off to him. But a Clan penalty is going to bring it half the distance. So Simon Fraser, in a perennial state of moving backwards here or handing the ball over the first 2 possessions of this football game. Clan will find themselves now 1st and 10 at their 4-yard line.
And then you'll stand right where the down marker is.
Check that, 1st and 14. 1st and 14 at their 4-yard line. Richardson's going to take the snap in his own end zone. Jalen Jana, the running back, almost out of the end zone. Fake the handoff. Richardson wants to pass. Instead's got to get out of that end zone. He's going to heave it up. Looking for Cobb, and I think Cobb is going to make the catch and look like he had 1 foot down. They are going to rule a catch, and that is a clutch catch by Gavin Cobb. What a catch. Cobb had 1 foot in bounds. Would love to see that one on the replay. What a job. The focus that Gavin Cobb had on that near sidelines, and take a look right here on Clan TV. Richardson, in danger of giving up the safety, is moving. Puts it up on the sidelines, and look at that focus by Gavin Cobb. He had Quentin Fraser, the guy who recovered the fumble on the first series, draped all over him, but Gavin Cobb out of Mount Douglas in Victoria with a great catch.
In the end zone results in a safety for Azusa Pacific, making the score 8-0 for the Cougars.
And believe it or not, the Clan will give up 2 points and a safety holding in the end zone on that play. I didn't see the flag. Apologies. As we talked about Gavin Cobb's fantastic catch. But what a tough break here for the Simon Fraser Clan. They fumble on their first possession. They get a penalty. Holding in their own end zone on this play as we take a look on the replay. Trying to pick it out here, and we'll see it right there in the middle of our screen. Couldn't get the number there. But what a tough break for the Clan. Simon Fraser looked like they were moving again out of the recesses of their own side of the field, and surrender the safety, have to kick the ball away, and it has been tough sledding for Kelly Bates' squad here on their first 2 possessions. We were mentioning the scrambling ability of Miles Richardson in his own end zone to trying to avoid that safety, and he got the ball away on the near sideline. Tough break for the Clan here. And the kick there fielded by Chris Hollis, number 26, and he's going to break it down the field. Hollis breaks a couple of tackles and gets taken down at the 15-yard line. And just like that, again, this Clan defense being tested to the max here in the early going will have to come in and do what they can deep in their own end again after a big return there by Chris Hollis, the 5'8 senior out of Pasadena, California, at Mount St. Antonio Community College. So the Mount Sac transfer with the big return there. A huge boost for Andrew Elfers and company as they line up at the Simon Fraser 23-yard line, it looks like. I'll check that 18-yard line. Elfers looks to the far sideline, lofts it up, and has a man for the touchdown. And that's number 86 with a big catch there. Jake Girardi. Girardi, the guy who missed the extra point, though, comes in as a tight end, makes a great catch there. Nice touch on that ball as Andrew Elfers floats it up to his big tight end for the touchdown. An 18-yard strike, and it's 14-0. Well, check that. It should be 13-0. 6, actually 12. They've got 14 on the ball. 2 points for the safety. Excuse me, early in the season for me. Extra point is up and good. And this time it's Jacob Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a favorite song, please download the Song Trend app and send.
Take a short break here on Clan TV and be back with more in just a moment.
My suggestion is,
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is success, because our program is built on a strong championship history. Every day, our team trains to win so that we can rise to the challenge of achieving more than the years before. I am Adam Jones, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's soccer team.
And welcome back, everybody, to Terry Fox Field. Simon Fraser women's soccer with a 3-1 lead in the second half against Central Washington. So the Clan ladies in Ellensburg today, and looking good with 3 unanswered goals, I'm being told, in that game by the Simon Fraser Clan women's soccer team to lead 3-1 at Ellensburg against Central Washington. We'll keep you updated on that score throughout the evening. Of course, we've got women's volleyball to follow, as well as men's soccer here tonight on Clan TV. A busy day for sports on the hill. If you're a Clan fan, the place to be, Clan TV. Here's a great return up the field. And again, it's Cobb. He's going to get up to the 32-yard line. You can see how close he is to breaking things every time he touches the football. Gavin Cobb up to the 32-yard line. We do have a Clan player, though, down on the field right now. Try to get a number there. Cobb just exploding with that football. Still unable to. Justin Buren looks like the player down, the senior, redshirt senior wide receiver, the leading receiver on this football team right now. So clearly, let's hope Justin Buren's okay as the trainers take a look at him. Justin Buren, what a high school career he had at Centennial Secondary out in Coquitlam. And a big play receiver whenever he touches that football, but taking a bit of a ding here on special teams. Wish the best there as Justin Buren in a bit of pain on the field. We'll see what happens. For the latest Simon Fraser Athletics news, stats, videos, and more, you can visit athletics.sfu.ca. Also stay connected with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We mentioned Simon Fraser with a busy sports day here today. The GNAC home opener for Simon Fraser Volleyball will follow later this afternoon. I believe a 5 p.m. start from the West Gym. You can watch that as well on Clan TV. And for head coach Gina Schmidt and company, 11 straight games away from Simon Fraser to begin their season. And you know, the Clan ladies want to try and pick up a victory in the GNAC. They've had a tough start to the season, trying to define some new roles for a lot of players on that team. Nice applause here as Justin Buren gets to his feet. And what a valuable member of the Clan football team number 15 is. Let's wish him the best and a speedy recovery as they help Justin Buren off the football field. It certainly doesn't help the numbers of that depleted receiving core right now. Cobb and Nathaniel Durkin, number 2, among the prime targets for quarterback Miles Richardson. Jalen Jana, of course, as well, the running back wearing number 10. The STM product out of Burnaby, clearly a guy that can come out of the backfield, great hands, able to catch the ball as well. So they'll be leaning on those skill position guys and hopefully get number 15 back into the game as soon as possible here. Here's Richardson. It's going to be a handoff this time on a sweep to Cobb to the near sidelines. Gavin Cobb, don't know if he gained anything on that play. Out of bounds right at the marker. Adrian Shawks, the defensive back, the junior out of Federal Way, Washington, coming in to make the hit on the sidelines, knocking the Clan out of bounds. So Simon Fraser will, looks like they're going to lose a yard on that play. Call it 2nd and 11 now from the 30. There's Richardson out of the gun. Near side of the field, and the pass is caught on his shoestrings there by number 84, Dallas Dixon. And Dixon coming into the game for Buren. He's got the long flowing blonde locks there, number 84. Take a look at this replay here on Clan TV as Richardson. A quick outlet there to Dixon. Dixon remains in the game, lined up to the near side of the field. That's Nate Durkin at the top. Cobb in motion on the snap here for Miles Richardson. Richardson is going to scramble. Breaks contain out of the pocket. Heaves it downfield looking for a man. It's Durkin. Oh, right through the hands of Nathaniel Durkin. A great opportunity there for the Clan to put up a big gain inside the 20-yard line. And Durkin turned around, saw the pass coming, just couldn't squeeze it. And a tough break there as the Clan now facing 4th and 5, and they'll get set to punt it. But Seen Richardson scrambling on the run, finding Durkin. And a real high trajectory on that pass. Durkin, I think when he turned, wasn't quite sure where the ball was, and just that split second didn't allow the John Barsby Bulldog product and an Nanaimo to squeeze that football. It would have been a big catch here as Simon Fraser will now punt the ball away. Well, score remains 15-0 here, and if anything, Simon Fraser has got the opposition on the other side of the 50-yard line, just inside the 50, outside the 50, check that. And a vast improvement over the first two trips down the field for this Azusa Pacific team. Azusa Pacific getting the ball inside the 30, I believe, on the last two possessions. And being able to score both times down the field. This time they get the ball at midfield. Another challenge in front of this Clan defense. Elfer says Scobie in the backfield as he waits the snap. He'll hand off to Scobie. Plants a foot, tries to break free, and has about a 6-yard gain. Met by a host of Clan tacklers there. Kurt Scobie, the go-to back for this Azusa Pacific team. Make it 2nd and 4 here now. We're down to just over 7 minutes remaining in the opening quarter of play. Howard Samura here with you on Clan TV. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast of GNAC football from Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. Simon Fraser, the NCAA's only non-US team, in action here today against Azusa Pacific. Alfers fakes the handoff to Scobie, looks down the field, decides he's going to take off with it. He will break down the sidelines, get the first down and more, weave inside, a flag on the play, and the tackle made there by Isaac Evans, the redshirt freshman out of Terry Fox Secondary in Port Coquitlam. Officials discussing things at the 35-yard line. And a hold being called against Azusa Pacific.
Repeat 2nd down.
So that wipes out the big gainer by Elfers, who's scrambled for the first down and more. And the referees will spot the football at the Simon Fraser 44-yard line.
2nd and 4, Azusa Pacific.
So the Cougars now 2nd and 4 at the Clan 44. Gavin McDaniel and Kurt Scobie in the backfield. Scobie right through the heart of the Clan defense, breaks a tackle, and breaks another. He's going to go all the way inside the 5-yard line. And not a textbook example of tackling there by the Simon Fraser Clan. Scobie takes it all the way up the gut, right down to the edge of the goal line. And we'll take a look at that replay on Clan TV. Look at how many tackles he breaks as he goes through there. 1. Shoe top is going to miss here, and he's going to break another one right there. 3 tackles broken down to the 3-yard line. And what a job there by Scobie. Right back on the doorstep are the Azusa Pacific Cougars. Here's Elfers, the handoff. Scobie is going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown. And that is a tough break. Simon Fraser dodges a bit of a bullet when Elfers' big gain is negated by a holding penalty, but on the very next play, it's Scobie right up the middle, doing what he does best, and that's gain big yardage for this team. So 21-0 is the score here. Azusa with a missed extra point on its first touchdown and a safety as well. So they've got 21 and pending the extra point, which is good. 22-0 already the score here for Simon Fraser in a big, big hole against Azusa Pacific. We'll take a short break here on Clan TV. Back with more in just a moment.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is pride, because every year my teammates and I push each other to do more than the year before. The amount of dedication and energy we have invested has propelled us to become a rising force in the NCAA. I am Michelle Waters, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's golf team.
And welcome back, everybody. Howard Smurray here, Terry Fox Field, Clan TV. Jake Girardi set to kick off from his 35-yard line. Gavin Cobb awaits this along with Jalen Janet. Will go to Cobb at his goal line. Here comes Cobb, breaks the first one, gets flipped in midair as he is brought down at about the 17-yard line. So Gavin Cobb with plenty of opportunities, not getting the same results as last week. Azusa Pacific doing a real good job of bottling up Gavin Cobb. And there have been a couple of big ones. Simon Fraser coughing the ball up their own 35 on their first possession of the game, and as well, a holding penalty in the end zone, giving Azusa Pacific a safety and wiping out a huge gain near midfield by Gavin Cobb, who made a spectacular catch on the near sideline. A couple of those have really gotten in the way as they trail 22-0. Here is Richardson. Takes it to Jana. Ooh, almost picked off. They were looking for Gavin Cobb. And Daryl Smith. Well, check that. I believe that was Daryl Smith, number 16. As you look on the Clan TV replay, right into the numbers, and number 16 wishes he could get another crack at that one. Daryl Smith, the defensive back, the senior, out of Mays Landing, New Jersey, with a near interception as he came hard back for that football. 2nd and 10 now. Richardson in trouble. He's going to get taken down. The sack in the backfield. And big number 90, David Jimenez, the sophomore defensive lineman out of Hacienda Heights, California, in to the backfield to get that sack. So a big loss there, down to 3rd and 20. And Simon Fraser in a very familiar position in this opening quarter, hemmed deep in their own end. They're going to send Dixon out to the near sideline, Durkin out to the far. Cobb as well with Jana in the backfield. Richardson running a bit of option here, is going to tuck it and run. And here he goes up the field. Great job out to the 30 and slides out of bounds, or attempts to, at about the 38-yard line. And a great job there. So Miles Richardson reacting the instincts there. They ran a little option, and you can see he tucks and has some purpose here as he heads towards the sideline. Knows where that marker is. Doing a great job here as he gets out of bounds. Almost seemed to drop the ball as he ran out of bounds as well. But Simon Fraser, a positive gain with no flags on the play. You got to love that if you're a Clan fan. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Richardson, quick throw to Cobb up the middle. Gavin on a little crossing play out to about the 48-yard line. Nice quick hitter there to Gavin Cobb. Elusive as always as we take a look again at the replay here on Clan TV. Richardson building some great chemistry there with Cobb, who's made a number of grabs. Hasn't been able to break one yet, but big play capability from Gavin Cobb, the former Mount Douglas Ram, the former BC AAA Player of the Year at Victoria's Mount Douglas Secondary School, where he led the team to the provincial title. Number 85 lined up to the near side of the screen is Ethan Bessalt. Scrambling, avoiding, and getting rid of the football as quickly as he can is Miles Richardson. He felt the heat there. Daryl Smith, number 16, one of the players very quickly into the Clan backfield. So Azusa Pacific doing a great job here defensively. Have forced a 2nd and 10. Simon Fraser still thirsty to get across midfield here at their own 47-yard line. Cobb in motion. Richardson scrambling, feels the pressure, Gets it off to Jana for little or no gain. Jalen Jana taken out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
Pass complete to Jalen Jana. No gain on the play. Third down, Simon Fraser.
So Simon Fraser will need a big play here if they want to keep this drive alive on 3rd and 10. We're down to 3:25 left here in the opening quarter of play on Clan TV. And if you're wondering who the big guy is, number 19, it's Ryzen John out of Vancouver College. Maybe the tallest receiver in Division I football. Going downfield though. Oh, and almost a great catch made there as he turns around.
Richardson's pass intended for number 85 Basalt deep down the left
Yeah,
side.
Ethan Basalt, number 85,
It was at 4th down. Simon Fraser.
makes that turn just like Durkin did earlier as we look at the replay here on Clan TV. A near catch there, some great coverage on the play as well, provided by Kenny Norton III. The veteran cornerback on this team forces the Clan into a punting situation. Back to receive it will be Gavin McDaniel, number 1. High punt. Touched a Clan player, I thought. And Azusa Pacific will take over at their own 45-yard line. Andrew Anderson, the freshman at Limerada High School in California, making the catch there.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very own DJ
2:48 left in the opening quarter of play. Already the Clan down by 3 scores in this football game. And
Send your song here. Thank you.
so a report from Ellensburg, Washington, 69th minute of play. Central Washington has gotten one of those Clan goals back. We just mentioned the Clan with 3 unanswered goals to lead 3-1. Well, Central Washington, the Wildcats have got one back. 3-2 the score. The Clan hoping to hold on there with about 25 minutes left in Ellensburg. Alfers airs it out, looking down the field, and he has a man wide open. A flag is going to be thrown, and it looks like it's going to be a pass interference call against Jaron Bailey, number 13. Tough break if indeed that is the case for Bailey. Looked like pretty solid coverage. Maybe we'll get a look at that on the Clan TV replay. Alfers had a man, went to him in one-on-one coverage down the field.
13, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
First and
For Azusa Pacific at the 40-yard line.
So they're going to say 40-yard line here for the Cougars. 1st and 10. Elfers with McDaniel and Scobie in the backfield. Winning the snap here on 1st and 10. The handoff is going to go to Scobie up the middle. So dangerous. Sheds the tackle, breaks free. And here he goes again. This time, he is going to go the distance for the touchdown. Boy, Simon Fraser unable to get a grip on Scobie as he goes up the middle. They had him by the shoe tops at one point. He just kept moving those feet, and Scobie is running roughshod on the Simon Fraser Clan right up the heart of their defense as we look at the Clan TV replay. You're going to see a shoe top tackle attempt that almost got him at about the 12-yard line, I believe it was. And he just breaks free the whole way. And the extra point is through and good. 29-0. Simon Fraser, we talked about that performance last week before the half. Trailing Humboldt State 21-14 before the dam broke. Today already the dam breaks off the opening possession. We should let you know about some of the fine folks who help bring Clan TV to the air. And the SFU Spirit Shop being one of them. They have SFU branded clothing and merchandise. They're a proud supporter of Clan Athletics. And they're located at the Burnaby campus in the Maggie Benson Center. So pick up your SFU athletics gear today at the SFU Spirit Shop. Charter Bus Lines, the official motor coach of Clan Athletics, proud to support Simon Fraser football and all Clan teams. Charter dedicated to providing safe and comfortable transportation to your games throughout the Pacific Northwest. You know where to visit them, charterbuslines.com. And some shameless self-promotion for Varsity Letters. That is the site I run on high school and university sports. Glad to let you know to check out varsityletters.ca for high school and university sports news in British Columbia. Visit the website today. News, sports, in-depth interviews, and more. varsityletters.ca. The Clan with a huge hill to climb here. As Girardi now set to kick off the Simon Fraser. Number 11, Gavin Cobb, back to receive.
Let's go.
And it would do the Clan soul some good if Cobb could get a big return here. He is dangerous. He's got the football at his own 15, his own 20, the 25, out to about the 27-yard line for Gavin Cobb. So a nice return there for Cobb. And he is one busy guy on the field. Hopefully we'll get some stats soon to update you on the number of catches that Gavin Cobb's had, the number of touches he's had as well. Involved in so many facets of this game for Simon Fraser. Only a sophomore and part of the good young group of players, and we do stress young for head coach Kelly Bates. The vast majority of this team, freshmen and sophomores. Richardson with the snap, the handoff to Jalen Jana. Jana really finding it the going tough there.
Jana takes the carry up the middle, gained about 2 yards on the play.
Jalen Jana gaining 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 8 here for the Clan. 2:08 remaining in the opening quarter of play here from Terry Fox Field. Clan's second game of the season here. Of course, Texas A&M Kingsville here earlier for a non-conference game, a win for the Javelinas before Simon Fraser embarking on the start of the GNAC season last week at Humboldt State. Here's Richardson, looks to the near sideline, now up the middle, looking for Cobb. It's going to get picked off, and Cobb right there to make the stop, but an interception for Richardson, a tough break, and it's picked off by number 6, Josh Olave. Take a look at that. A bit too much air under that pass, and Olave allowed to make the adjustment underneath. Cobb was right there to get it, but it was a bit overthrown. Cobb able to make the quick stop on the play, but what a tough break there for the Clan, and again, this Clan defense are going to be tested again. And they have got to get more sure-handed with their tackling, especially up the middle, as it pertains to Scobie, who's not in the backfield right now. That's Aaron, we'll check that, Reddick, number 23. Zakel Reddick, the redshirt freshman from Simi Valley, California, wearing number 23 in the backfield. And he is ripping right through the heart of that Clan defense down to about the 47-yard line of the Simon Fraser Clan. And already that's a sign of what the Azusa Pacific Cougars are doing here under head coach Victor Santa Cruz. Already Scobie, literally rushing at will, has been replaced. And they're going to go with Reddick and see what he can do. The redshirt freshman, as we mentioned, at Grace Brethren High School in Simi Valley. Stands in again along with Elfers in the backfield. Lions giving chase in the backfield. They can't touch him, and here goes Elfers right down the sideline. He's at the 10, finally gets knocked out of bounds. Goodness. So Elfers, who was looking to slide out of bounds at the first sign of pressure, figured, you know what, I might as well extend myself and try and score a touchdown here. And he reaches out for the end zone, gets knocked out at the 3. Check that, looks like the 2-yard line. And Azusa again already with a 29-0 lead, and knocking on the door. Big plays and turnovers are killing the Clan here in the opening quarter of play. Elfers. The handoff. And looks like the Clan are going to get a stop at about the 1-inch line on Reddick. So just shy of the goal line there. I'll bring up 2nd and goal. Certainly don't know what the record is for most points surrendered in an opening quarter by the Clan in their history. Well, this would be right up there right now, especially if Azusa Pacific was allowed to get into the end zone, which they seem very likely to do here. Second and goal at the half-inch line here for Azusa Pacific. The whistle's going to blow here to signal the end of the quarter, so we'll switch sides here, and we're going to go to a break here on Clan TV. Back with more from Terry Fox Field in just a moment.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is family, because when you become a part of the women's soccer team, you're gaining more than just a group of teammates. These girls become your family, people that you're willing to put everything on the line for. I am Michaela Guerrero, and I'm proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's soccer team.
When I first came to SFU, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. When I got into my second semester, I suddenly wasn't so sure what I wanted to do anymore. So I started to explore a little bit. Archaeology, communications, history, even kinesiology. And then I decided to go on exchange to France for a year. I was an orientation leader for a year, became a community advisor in residence, helped start a choir. I even took a rowing course. After SFU, I have lots of possibilities of what I could do, but whatever I do, I know I'll be ready for it.
And welcome back, everybody, to Terry Fox Field here. Simon Fraser University football on Clan TV. Howard Samura here with you as the Azusa Pacific Cougars now knocking on the doorstep here in the first play of the second quarter, already with a 29-0 lead, and the quarterback Alfer is under center. It's a pitch, and the Clan pursuit of the far sidelines, but it will be a touchdown, and that's number 23, Reddick, in for the score. So just 6 seconds in, and that score is now 35-0. 29, the Clan given a reprieve on that amount of points allowed in the opening quarter with that time running down on the clock, but 35-0 here, 6 seconds into the second quarter of play, and the extra point pending. Simon Fraser in a deep hole early here, and it started right off the opening drive, fumbling on their opening drive at their own 35-yard line, and tough break there. And as we mentioned, the safety surrendered on the next series. That wiped out a great catch by Cobb that would have had the Clan moving well down the field. So things have gone from bad to worse here for Simon Fraser, struggling to stick with Azusa Pacific. The score now 36-0, check that. And we got some stats here. And we'll bring you up to date on some of the numbers. And we mentioned to you that from Simon Fraser's Pacific, from their perspective rather, Gavin Cobb was getting a lot of touches. Cobb with 5 kickoff returns already for 62 yards, a long of 26 in there as well. 2 catches for 22 yards. He's accounted for the huge majority of the Simon Fraser offense, what little there was in the opening quarter of play. Look at the passing numbers. Miles Richardson, 4 of 9 for 28 yards and 1 interception. He's been sacked once, his longest completion only 12 yards. On the other side of the coin, Kurt Scobie with 9 carries for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 12.7 yards per carry. And that's why head coach Victor de Santa Cruz, check that, had put Zikel Reddick into the game. A good chance for him to give Reddick some carries out of that backfield, and Reddick was successful as well. 2 carries for 11 yards there. All Azusa Pacific as they prepare to kick off. Cobb with the catch at his own 1-yard line. Cobb crossing the 20, faking out to about the 23-yard line, where the tackle is going to be made by Ronnie Hawley, the Visalia, California junior, in there to make the stop on Gavin Cobb. They will spot the ball at the 23-yard line here for the Simon Fraser Clan. Richardson in to huddle his guys, and they would love to be able to mount a scoring drive here, but a tough break early, losing top receiver Justin Buren, number 15, helped off the field, and we haven't seen his return. Here's Richardson coming to the near sideline facing some pressure and simply running out of bounds. Short little gain there on the play. Simon Fraser does indeed have Ryzen John, the Vancouver College product, standing 6'7", 200 pounds. The sophomore into the game now, a huge target. And talking to Coach Kelly Bates earlier in the week, Ryzen John able to get eligible academically midweek and is able to join this receiving group. A huge boost for number 19. Lining up in the slot here, Cobb in motion. Here's Richardson. Little pitch to Jana. Tries to be elusive, can't, and the tackle made there as he's driven out of bounds by number 29, Adrian Shocks, at the near sideline. Shocks wasn't going to be faked out by that first move that Jana gave off the pitch by Richardson. So the Clan in some jeopardy here again. A clear passing down at 3rd and 8. 3rd and 9 checked at their own 24-yard line. Cobb again in motion to the far sideline. Richardson looking down the field, trying to avoid the pressure, steps up in the pocket and slides for the first down. Some quality play there from Miles Richardson. Flag is on the play though, so we will see what happens here. We've lost our replay monitor down here at Play-by-Play Central, but hopefully you're seeing the replay of this play and you'll be able to So the penalty going against Simon Fraser. And you hate to say like clockwork, but boy, they have been snake bitten here in the first half of play, and the penalty there is going to make it 3rd and 17 at their own 24-yard line. Or check that. No, they are down and distance, not updated yet on the board. We'll get a look at where they're spotting the football. Looked away as the referees were indicating the penalty, and we'd lost our signal here down on our replay monitor. So hopefully we'll get some of that. Richardson. Low snap, picks it up off the ground, looks downfield. Ooh. That pass was intended for Jana, deflected off the hands of number 54, Christian Caraveo, the nose tackle. And amazingly, Jana actually got the pass for no gain on the play. But that's going to bring up 4th down here. Oh, still we haven't moved the markers as Simon Fraser will not kick the ball. And they are running with it, crossing the 20. They're going to get the first down and more down the sidelines. Knocked out of bounds near midfield. What a play by Spencer McCabe, the defensive end out of O'Day High School. And I don't think that was a design play. He scrambled, saw some room on the near sidelines, and McCabe, what a great play for the Clan. Already trailing 36-0 here early in the second quarter, but what a boost as Richardson and company stay on the field. The snap went to McCabe, and he eluded everybody as he takes the ball out to the 49-yard line. Just shy of midfield. High snap over the head into the hands of Jana. And the errors just continue to mount here for the Clan. That snap over the head of Richardson right to Jana, who was alongside him in the backfield. So the Clan are going to lose a bundle of yards there. Looks like a 9-yard loss there. So 2nd and 19 here from the 40-yard line. Simon Fraser just can't help themselves here in the opening half of play. Get a big play from McCabe and then promptly give back 9 yards. Throw is to Jana. On the sidelines, gets forced out of bounds about 4 yards shy of the first down. So a 5-yard gain there. Daryl Smith with the tackle on the sidelines, but Jana able to get some of those yards back, and now it's going to be 3rd and 4 here for Simon Fraser. Just shy of their own 45-yard line.
Yeah. Okay, you figure it out. All right.
Cobb in motion as Jana awaits the snap, or rather Richardson awaits the snap. This time takes that snap, throws to the sidelines, and a little bit of miscommunication there as Baselt turned around. Just no sync there. We're back with our video screen. Our thanks to producer engineer Gabe Lynn for that, and we are back in business from our perspective. You were able to see it. I'm glad I've got my replay monitor back here. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast. Unfortunately, if you're a Clan fan, some tough breaks here early, and Simon Fraser in an all too familiar position here, trailing 36-0. This time the punt up, a nice kick here is going to back McDaniel back to about his 13-yard line. He got something under that. It was McCabe with a kick there.
Did you bring him?
So Spencer McCabe, a freshman, doing a good job there. We were talking about some of the people that bring you Clan TV here, and we will bring you up to date again, rather, on a score from Ellensburg, Washington. 4-2 now, the score with just a few minutes remaining. Simon Fraser, the women, able to get a late goal here. Emma Pringle, we're told, with 3 goals here, so the talented Clan player carrying the day for Simon Fraser in Ellensburg, Washington. 4-2, and it looks like victory imminent for the Simon Fraser Clan women's soccer team on the road, so congratulations to them. There's the carry by McDaniel. As we mentioned, McCabe's punt really had McDaniel backpedaling. It took him back to his own 13-yard line. McDaniel getting the carry and getting a couple of those yards back on first down. So call it second and 5 here for Azusa Pacific from their own 21-yard line. Elfers still in the game at quarterback. This time McDaniel, nope, Elfers will keep the football. Taken off to the far sidelines. Big gain again for Elfers. And he's going to get driven out of bounds by Quentin Frazier. Or check that, Luca Bellini. So Bellini pushes him out of bounds at midfield, but a flag has been thrown. We'll wait and see what happens here. Huge gains all game long for the likes of McDaniel, Scobie, Elfers. Hold being called, though, they'll bring it back, being called against the Azusa Pacific. This Simon Fraser defense has been on the field for huge stretches of this game. I mentioned Azusa Pacific ranked as high as number 8 in the D2 polls earlier this season. Knocked out after that 1-point loss to Central Washington last week. Hungry for a win after starting 0-2 in the GNAC, and they are taking it out on the Simon Fraser Clan here today. Elfers out of the shotgun, takes the handoff, looks downfield, goes to the far sideline, has a man wide open, and he will make the catch, dragged out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
Elfers' pass is complete down the left side to Daryl Adams Jr.
And as you take a look at the replay there, Daryl Adams Jr., number 9, making a great catch on the sideline.
First and 10, Azusa Pacific.
Jaron Bailey there with the coverage, but a big catch made by Azusa Pacific right down the field. First and 10 at the Clan 18-yard line. McDaniel with the handoff from Elfers, the tackle made there by the Clan. And Trevor Kemp, the linebacker, coming up to make the tackle there for Simon Fraser.
Gain of about 2 yards. Second and 8, Cougars.
Clan defense holds tight there, but too many big plays in this game by Azusa Pacific. As you mentioned already, 36 points in this football game. for the visitors from California. Elfers to the far sideline. Clan in there. Ben Meinecker to make the tackle on Adams Jr. again, who makes the catch. And Adams Jr., as we look at the replay here on Clan TV, becoming a favorite target, makes a nice adjustment back to the ball, sheds a tackle, and Meinecker able to come in there and make the stop for Simon Fraser. So first and goal at the Clan 7-yard line. Familiar territory here for Azusa Pacific. Ooh, some movement there along the line. The whistles blow. We'll see if the Clan were drawn offside or not. Clan opening the season with a 34-28 loss in Phoenix to Arizona Christian. Returned back home on the 9th of September and lost 35-7 against Texas A&M Kingsville, and of course 72-14 the loss at Humboldt State last week. Next Clan football game September the 30th next week, next Saturday in Ellensburg against Central Washington. And the Clan will return home on October the 7th, a 1 o'clock game against Western Oregon right here at Terry Fox Field. As we mentioned, first and goal. Half the distance from the 3-yard line. And McDaniel looks like he's got the ball down towards the goal line, but I think they stopped that about the 2.
Brought down at about the 1-yard line by a host of SFU tacklers. Second and goal, Cougars.
Looked like Mozil was the primary guy there on the stop. And I'm corrected at about the 2-yard line. Weston Carr, number 8, Adams Jr., number 9 on the near and far sides of the field here for Andrew Elfer. Still in the game at quarterback. He's going to keep it, and will get taken down, lose a couple of yards there. And looks like Luca Bellini came in there to get the tackle for Simon Fraser.
There is a flag on the play.
Flag on the play, but also in there was, let's take a look at the replay here, Bellini, the St. Thomas More product, in there to do a good job. Well, actually, he was a secondary guy on that play. The tackle actually made by Brendan Lowry, number 3.
Bring the ball back to the Simon Fraser 12-yard line. Second and goal, Azusa.
Simon Fraser rallying hard to the ball, and a penalty is going to bring the ball back now. So, bit of a comfort zone here, if you can call it that, for the Simon Fraser Clan. Out to about the 14-yard line, it looks like. Second and goal from the 14 here for Azusa Pacific. Elfer's short little pass, dumps it down to number 82, and that's Jordan Bagardis, the wide receiver, the redshirt freshman.
Tackled at the 2-yard line.
So tackled down at about the 2, make it third and goal here.
Third and goal, Azusa Pacific.
The Cougars already with 5 touchdowns in this football game, looking to make it 6 here with 6:42 left in the first half of play. As we mentioned, Clan TV will bring you Simon Fraser volleyball, as well as Simon Fraser men's soccer. A busy day on Clan TV. Stay tuned for more of the action after this football game. Hand off to McDaniel, and he is going to get dragged down just shy of the goal line. So at about the half-yard line, he gets taken down. And we'll see what the Azusa Pacific Cougars are going to do here on 4th down as we look at the replay. I missed the tackle. I think it was Durkin who got the, or rather Lowry who got the tackle there. They will line up for the field goal here. Jacob Hall, the junior out of Greenville, Illinois, set to kick a short little field goal here. It is through from 18 yards and good.
Jacob Hall's field goal is good.
So 39-0 now the score here.
He scored 39 for Azusa Pacific.
Simon Fraser in a huge hole here.
There for $2 Yokobai burgers and $3
Nice crowd on hand today for the first GNAC home game of the
available as well.
Clan season. They honored longtime trainer Al Best prior to this football game. As we mentioned, the next Simon Fraser home game will be October the 7th against the Wolves of Western Oregon, 1 o'clock here on Clan TV right at Terry Fox Field. Sparking another return back to the top of the mountain after a couple seasons at Swangard Stadium with the odd game at home here, but this season all home games played on campus here at Simon Fraser University. Chance to visit with Simon Fraser head coach Kelly Bates earlier in the week, and certainly based on the record and some of the scores, you might think, boy, real tough sledding indeed. No one's going to say it's not, but I think Coach Bates pretty encouraged by the latest group of recruits to come in here and continuing to build with this real young team. And just really trying to build depth on this roster. Of course, no excuses for today's performance. Tough early going here for Simon Fraser. We've mentioned it a number of times, but I'll tell you, Simon Fraser putting a couple of completions together in that opening drive and having a fumble at its own 35 that Azusa Pacific promptly marches into the end zone for a touchdown. Next Simon Fraser series, great circus catch out near about the 40, I believe it was, by Gavin Cobb, gets nullified by a holding penalty in the end zone and a safety for Azusa Pacific. And right there, the air out of the tires, and Simon Fraser having to adjust to that early adversity on their first two possessions. And Azusa Pacific, the veterans, able to take full advantage. Here's Jana with a handoff. Jalen puts his head down and pushes hard out to about the 37-yard line. Jalen Jan, a bit of a rocky road to get here to Simon Fraser. Some injury problems, some knee problems, but boy, put it all together last year with a huge rushing game here. 200-plus yards in one game was a great show of what Jalen Jana is able to do here for the Simon Fraser Clan team. But again, tough in the early going here. The offensive weapons limited by that injury to Buren early in the game. Durkin high with Cobb, the fake the handoff, and Richardson already in trouble and is going to get taken down in the backfield. And that was number 40, Willie Fair, the linebacker, the sophomore from Chula Vista, California. Able to get in there and force third down here for the Clan. Third and about 13 for Simon Fraser. Some good threats on the field here for Simon Fraser, but unable to get a vertical game going here. And as you mentioned, as you saw, Jana really struggling to gain some traction behind that offensive line here today. Time giving number 84, Dallas Dixon, a good number of snaps here. Oh, pass intended for Durkin on the far sideline at about the Azusa 45. It's going to go out of bounds, incomplete. Take a look at the replay here on Clan TV. Hard battle in the air for that ball. Was there for Durkin, sure-handed, but unable to come away with that. And the Clan will have to punt the ball away, and Spencer McCabe back onto the field. Of course, McCabe with a great bit of improvising earlier in the first half of play. Was able to get downfield and get a huge first down for this Clan team. This time we'll punt. He's doing a good job of those punts. McDaniel will field it at about his own 26, puts on a move, reverses his field, tries to cut back up the middle and find some real estate down to about the 38-yard line. So Gavin McDaniel with some heady running there, the Coppell, Texas native. Ooh, looks like another Clan player down and injured. Number 37, Spencer McCabe, the punter, down on the field hurt. We'll take a short break here on Clan TV and be back with more in just a moment.
One word to describe competing for SFU is tradition.
My word is success.
Determination.
Experience.
Inspiring.
One word to describe competing for SFU is excellence.
It is family.
Passion.
My word is pride.
Opportunity.
My word is patriotic.
I am Sophie Swan.
I am Adam Jones.
I am Peyton Smith.
I am Justin Guerin.
I am Victoria Saunders.
I am Braden Charlton.
I am Michaela Guerrero.
I am Graham Miller.
I am Christine Howlett.
I am Adrian Vanderhelm.
I am Michelle Waters, and we are proud to be on Canada's NCAA team.
To Terry Fox Field, Howard Samura here, Clan TV. McCabe helped off the field, favoring that left ankle, it looked like, so we wish him a speedy recovery. Certainly doing a good job for the Clan on the defense end in the kick game here today. Azusa Pacific first and 10 rather. Looks like Scobie, number 2, back into the game after an extended break. Kurt Scobie up to about his own 47-yard line.
Scobie with the carry, tackled on
So that looks like it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, just shy. Maybe a yard shy of a first down. They're going to mark it about 2 yards shy. So 2nd and 2 from the 46, 47-yard line for the Cougars. Scobie will remain in the backfield with Elfers. McDaniel in motion. Elfers steps up in the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. He's going to get to the 40. Driven out of bounds at about the 34-yard line of the Simon Fraser Clan. A big gain there for Elfers, who has done a real good job scrambling today for this Azusa Pacific football team. Just like that, the Cougars making a deep foray into Simon Fraser territory. The 33-yard line here. We've got 2:42 remaining to the half. Elfers looks down the field. Quick release, finds a man, has him for the touchdown. And just like that, a couple plays right down the field as they find Weston Carr, the 6'2 sophomore.
Touchdown, Cougars.
Just looks too easy. Take a look at the replay on Clan TV. Finding his man immediately, great purpose behind the throw there by Elfers. Finds his man, and Weston Carr making the catch, the coverage there by Luca Bellini. So the way they worked that, getting a speedy receiver match with a linebacker one-on-one, and Elfers no hesitation to find his receiver. Extra point is up and good.
Extra point is good. Score for Azusa Pacific 46.
46-0 the score here.
Fans, we'd like to thank the New Westminster student football team for cheering on the Clan today. If you'd like to bring your group of 10 or more to a Clan sporting event and receive it.
And we can let you know as well some of the promos of people that help bring Clan TV to the air.
SFU.ca.
In fact, a lot of them tonight. SFU football on Clan TV, the live stream brought to you in part by the SFU Spirit Shop, Charter Bus Lines of BC, and the Hilton Vancouver Metrotown Hotel. And we thank them for their part in Clan TV, and of course, to a great season of Clan sports as well, which will include volleyball, soccer, and we can't wait for the basketball season to start as well up here on the hill. I think improved fortunes for the men's basketball team this year under head coach Steve Hansen, and of course the women's basketball team under Bruce Langford continually reinventing itself and being a contender in the GNAC, so it's going to be a fun basketball season up here on Burnaby Mountain this season. We're awaiting a final score out of Ellensburg for Clan women's soccer. As we mentioned, though, with that game nearing its end, the SFU Clan women leading 4-2, 3 straight goals. We can. Emma Pringle with the hat trick can confirm it, a 4-2 win, thanks to our producer engineer Gabe Lynn. As a great return up the field by Gavin Cobb. It'll be his longest of the day. Gavin Cobb breaking free and giving his team great field possession here. Down 46-0, you want to build some confidence with every snap if you're Simon Fraser, and that might sound like a cliche, but you got to take what you can from these games, and it would be great to see Miles Richardson going to big number 19. Ryzen John, if he could find the big guy and make him an integral part of this offense. Ryzen John, one of those guys you know is just waiting to break free here, using that big 6'7" frame from the wide receiver position for Simon Fraser. Cobb in motion in the backfield. He will take the pass quickly and run to the sidelines. Take what he can get there in a nice gain of about 6 yards by Gavin Cobb. Look at Ryson John, number 19. Our camera should get a look at him as we look at the replay here, as Gavin Cobb gets out of bounds. But Ryson John, I've written about this young man since he was maybe an 11th grader at Vancouver College, both on the basketball court and on the football field. A great talent, and has had some injury problems, as we mentioned, was able to get academically eligible this week, and great to see him back in the lineup. Some thoughts that he might miss this season. Oh, almost picked off. That pass right into the numbers of Suliafu. We believe that was Suliafu, number 37. Indeed it was. The pass intended for Gavin Cobb. And our thanks to Nick Sersky for the pronunciations before this game, and I got that one ready to roll off the lips. Suliafu with the near pick. Simon Fraser maintaining the football here, though. Third and 3, call it. Their own 40. Richardson. Quick hit up the middle is going to get picked off by Suliafu, and he's got the football heading down the sidelines, and he will score. Suliafu with the interception. Return for the pick 6, and it was intended for Cobb. Flags on the play, and we'll wait and see what happens here. But Simon Fraser on back-to-back plays, and take a look at this replay as Richardson gets dialed into Cobb, off Cobb's hands, and right into the hands of 37. He's going to gallop down the sidelines for the touchdown. We'll just await the decision of the officials here. They haven't put the touchdown on the scoreboard yet.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, sideline interference on Simon Fraser. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
They will flag Simon Fraser for a 15-yard penalty to be enforced on the kickoff? Is that what I heard? So the touchdown is good, and Azusa Pacific with a 52-0 lead, the extra point pending. Jacob Hall kicks it through to make it 53-0. Goodness, the Azusa Pacific Cougars, it's not even at the half yet. 53-0 is the score here from Terry Fox Field. Azusa Pacific scoring through the air, on the ground, and this time via the defense. As Suliafu, check that, number 37, the senior out of Moreno Valley, California, getting a tip ball off the hands of receiver Gavin Cobb, number 11, and taking it into the end zone for the touchdown. And you can see by the play selection and the people involved as feature people in this Clan offense, Simon Fraser just doesn't have the depth of these other teams in the GNAC, and as they try and build a program, really tough when you lose a player like Justin Buren, their leading receiver, in the early moments of this football game. Looks like Jethro Questad, number 28, a freshman, is one of the guys back. He's going to take the football, his first touch of the game, and he's going to be met by a host of Azusa tacklers out to about the 23-yard line. So number 28, Jethro Questad, a running back, 5'11", 180, a freshman out of Kamayakan High School in Kennewick, Washington. So joining this Clan program from the Tri-Cities area. He was back there with Jalen Jana. Richardson to hand off to Jana, tries to find a crease, is driven back, met by a couple of tacklers. The primary tackler on that play is Alea Mia.
Let's go, Red, come on.
And nowhere to go. 2nd and 12 now. This offensive line put together from various pieces. Ooh, and they go to the far side of the field. Christian Phillips, the tight end, the freshman out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Unable to squeeze that football, and that'll bring up 3rd and 12 here for Simon Fraser. 39 seconds here remaining in the opening half of play. Simon Fraser unable to get on the scoreboard here. Signs of hope the last couple of weeks. A pretty solid performance against Texas A&M Kingsville right here at Terry Fox Field, in a quality first half on the road at Humboldt State last week. But right from the get-go here, a tough one for the Clan. They go to Ryzen John, and Ryzen John will make a huge catch. We've been talking about the big man the whole game, and look at that, how Ryzen John rises above the crowd and brings that football down in between two defenders. Take a look at that. 6'7", 200 pounds, one of the biggest receivers in NCAA college football. And he's able to go up and win a battle, high pointing that ball and coming down with it. Great job by Ryzen John. Ryzen John, if you see him on the basketball court, might be the most effortless dunker you've ever seen. And clearly a super athlete. His problem's just getting on the field this season with this Clan football team. But that was a big catch. He will head to the sidelines, and Christian Phillips, the tight end, in. So some nice size on those Clan receiver spots. Ryzen John, I don't know if we got to look at that on the replay, but rising between two defensive backs there on the far sideline to make a great catch and get the Clan 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Richardson back to pass, gets caught in the backfield and scrambles, gets himself free, and here he goes on 1st down and making a lot out of nothing. He's going to gain about 5 or 6 yards. So Fraser there with the tackle, coming in to stop the Simon Fraser quarterback, who does his best improv of the day. Richardson tucks it, begins to look for some real estate, and gets taken down by Fraser. So let's call this 2nd and 5 at the Azusa 46-yard line, or 47-yard line. Simon Fraser, the rare forays over midfield in this opening half of play. Of course, that clock down to only 22 seconds. It would be great to see the Clan, if they could just get on the scoreboard here in the opening half of play. That's Nate Durkin, number 2, to the near side. They will look for him. He slips on that route and unable to come up with a catch here, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. I just talked about the John Barsby Bulldog product out of Nanaimo. He slipped coming out of that break and saw that ball just elude his fingertips. Tough break there for Durkin, number 2. 18 seconds left here in the first half of play. Nice crowd here for the first GNAC home game of the season for Simon Fraser, but not a lot to cheer about obviously in this opening half of play. Simon Fraser would love to give their faithful something to clap about here before the break. Cobb in motion. immediately forced to scramble, and he's going to get the first down and more. It's Miles Richardson out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. 10 seconds left on the clock. So Richardson flashing the athleticism there. Everything breaks down, and he's able to think for himself on the go and create another first down for his football team. 53-0. They would, at the very least, love to have a field goal opportunity. Need to get a little closer for that. Quick hit to the sidelines. Goes to Phillips. He's got to just get out of bounds here. It's going to be at about the 24-yard line. So that would be about, what, a 42-yard field goal? 2 seconds left on the clock here. They will go for it.
Start time out of the half. Simon Fraser. Timer, please reset the game clock to 4 seconds.
They're going to actually add a couple seconds to that game clock, make it 4 seconds here. Simon Fraser really not having the kicking game to put that one through. Take a look at the Clan TV replay here. Phillips with a nice catch as he gets driven out of bounds with 4 seconds left here. So it's one play here for the end zone for Miles Richardson and company. And the personnel on the field in terms of the receivers, Christian Phillips, number 85, the freshman tight end, Ryzen John, the sophomore wide receiver out of Vancouver College. Richardson back on the field along with Gavin Cobb and Nathaniel Durkin. They among the targets in this Clan offense. Jalen Jana as well, number 10. Richardson with his instructions from the sidelines takes the snap. One Hail Mary here to go as they go to Ryzen John. Unable to make it happen as the coverage there provided by number 26, Chris Hollis. And that will do it for the first half of play. 53-0 for Azusa Pacific. We'll be back with the second half in a few moments.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is experience, because my student-athlete journey has been filled with lessons and encounters that have allowed me to grow as an individual. All of these experiences on and off the field will help me succeed in the future. I am Justin Buren, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA football team.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Pinkney. I'm a sophomore on the SFU volleyball team. Training camp is definitely long and exhausting. Having 2-3 hour practices a day, you get to work on all the technique stuff and individual stuff, but then you also get to move it more into gameplay, which really helps.
Let's go! 1, 2.
SFU! Mine! Gotta go! Tip! Mine! Yes, red! Go, go, go! Yes, Matt! Great touch. My freshman year definitely was a pretty big shock at how different the game was and everything, and being able to play with such great athletes, and especially our seniors that are gone, it just makes you want to push so much harder to be a better player, and now I'm accustomed to it, so I just want to work hard and I want to do what I can for the team this year. Let's just work on lots of our options. She's going to go through what we have in each position. And yeah, right. I'm just trying to do my best to make sure that the freshmen feel welcome and that we all believe in them and that we all have confidence in them, because that's the one thing that I really benefited from. What I say I bring to the team is just kind of my fiery attitude. I like to celebrate hard when we get points, and it kind of just fires everyone up and makes everybody excited and gets more into the game. That's better. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Right seam, let's start outside out. Up, go, go, help it, help it. Go, one. Yes! Let's go. 1, 2, team. Great. Yes! Gina is amazing. She is so technically sound and she can help you fix anything, but she's also good in the way that she tells you something to work on and then she gives you the time to work on it. She knows that it takes time.
After that coverage, can you keep moving into that pipe zone? Okay?
Just like yeah, I called it, but I didn't really move over. Hold on. There's a wild Gina on the court. So making it to Anchorage last year was pretty cool. Walking into the gym, it was overwhelming almost. Like being a freshman, it's like, wow, like there's just so many great athletes in one building right now. It's just like so inspirational to see like how hard every team works to get to where they are. And it was super exciting, and I just hope that we can get there again, which is also probably it's my goal, and I'm guessing the rest of the team's goal, to make sure that we're at that tournament and not even just there, but that we win it. Here,
that's up, 2 swings.
Hands up. Get up. Touch! Go! Tim! Nothing hits the floor. Yes! Yes! Smart play. 1, 2, family. It's one big happy family. Everybody gets along, everyone loves each other. On and off the court, no matter what. Just one big family.
1, 2,
SFU! Good job, guys.
Go in. Thank you. Thank you.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is family, because when you become a part of the women's soccer team, you're gaining more than just a group of teammates. These girls become your family, people that you're willing to put everything on the line for. I am Michaela Guerrero, and I'm proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's soccer team.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is success, because our program is built on a strong championship history. Every day, our team trains to win so that we can rise to the challenge of achieving more than the years before. I am Adam Jones, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's soccer team.
Hi, I'm Ben Meinecker.
And I'm Nathaniel Durkin.
And we're with the men's football team. Today we're going to be taking the women's soccer team and testing their football skills. Let's see how they do.
I can't even reach. I feel like a T-Rex. It's like stuck. It's like I'm really dressed.
There goes that little bird.
Yes. How do you see in these things?
With your eyes.
Yeah. Oh, it smells so bad. Okay, it smells bad. We are ready.
First off, we're going to teach them how to catch some touchdowns. Let's go.
Ready as I'll ever be. Easy.
Yes, Janice! I'm not doing diamond.
Right, so look for the ball, look for the ball, look for the ball.
That sucks.
Right there. Look for it. Go get it, go get it. Oh!
I get the number! Idiot! I need to redeem myself.
Oh, go get it, go get it. Yeah. Now it's the hut. That is a great hit.
I got it!
So we saw how well the soccer girls could catch. Now we're going to work on their tackling and coverage.
There you go.
Ready, Kate? I'll think you're my sister. It's fine.
Yeah, on your
I'm not ready. I literally bumped you.
That's not too bad.
Our helmet's just like.
We'll just switch spots now.
What do I do? Pick her up? Okay, she's really tall, but I can try. Are you ready?
Just like that.
All right, Tannis. If you're getting the ball thrown at her,
Sure.
I'll swat it.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there you go, you got her. Go get it. Go get it. Oh,
Finish!
celebrate. You better celebrate now. Oh, see it? Go, Brett, spin her hip.
There it is.
Spin her hip. Close.
That was impressive.
Nice, Tannis!
Alright, we're gonna banjo them. Double team.
The hut. Nice. Play vertical. Steal it. Break the...
Oh,
That was pretty good right there.
Oh god. We're defense. I don't understand any of their lingo.
There you go.
Is that hut?
Don't let her off.
That's defensive champions right there. That's what I like to see. Carly, thanks for playing defense.
So we've seen them work on their offensive and defensive skills. Now we're going to work on special teams. Let's see if they can kick some field goals.
All right, who's first?
I feel like this is going to be a lot different than kicking a soccer ball. There's no way I'm getting that.
One for one.
That was good. Go, Claire. That's what we like to see in soccer. That was good.
Don't miss. It's not on the green. We got two soccer balls.
You know what, Claire? We're better at soccer. That's all we need. Come on, Tannis. Celebrate. Tannis, you're gonna miss. Come on, Tannis. Yeah!
That was good.
So the girls showed us that they had some hands. They scored some touchdowns. The offense was pretty dominant.
Defensively, our tackling was pretty good. We can work on coverage though. We're going to watch the film. We're going to get better.
Thanks for having us.
And thanks for watching.
SFU on 3. 1, 2, 3. SFU!
Good job.
Hi, my name's Kaylee Bowering and I'm a senior on the SFU women's soccer team. Come join me behind the scenes at one of our practices. You guys can't say to me today. I'm gonna stand by Carly the whole time. Carly makes you look good. I'm following you so we can hear what you say.
No, please.
When Nadia's with the twins. That sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Oh my god. Oh yeah, watch the mic. Jenna, can I freaking tie your shoelaces? Like,
Thank you.
yeah, I tie Jenna's shoelaces all the time. She can't tie them. Just mom things. Oh shoot. We have an important job actually. We're passing. Yeah, Carmen. Yeah, Hollis. Yeah, Lauren. Good job.
I concussed my ankle.
That's
I concussed my ankle. Like, what does that mean?
I thought that was super funny though.
Haha. Guys, the paparazzi's following me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, look at her on the ground. What the Like, what do you do? She broke her back.
Yeah.
She's paralyzed.
I'm not kidding. I can't move. Like, it hurts so bad.
I'm not kidding. Just like that. We'll come get you tomorrow. How was your practice? Right. Ew, you're so wet.
Yeah, do you know how many shots I just had to take right there?
No, I wasn't watching.
I was like dead.
Jenna? There's no helping that. Let's go, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Way to fight through it.
Jen, the good thing is you made it. You got up.
You survived. You survived.
You're a survivor. 1, 2, 3.
Team. Bye.
To me, one word to describe competing for SFU is inspiring, because every day I get to train alongside some of the best athletes from different teams. Their accomplishments push me to work hard so I can leave a legacy on my program. I'm Christine Howlett, and I'm proud to be on Canada's NCAA volleyball team.
When I first came to SFU, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. When I got into my second semester, I suddenly wasn't so sure what I wanted to do anymore. So I started to explore a little bit. Archaeology, communications, history, even kinesiology. And then I decided to go on exchange to France for a year. I was an orientation leader for a year, became a community advisor in residence, helped start a choir, I even took a rowing course. After SFU, I have lots of possibilities of what I could do, but whatever I do, I know I'll be ready for it.
Mental illness is something anyone can suffer from.
It isn't a choice or a weakness, and you can't just snap out of it.
But with support, we can make each other better.
Check in and care for your friends, teammates, or colleagues, and be a good listener for them.
Ask them how they're doing, and if you can do anything to help.
It begins the crucial first step of decreasing the stigma so that we can open up a conversation.
Educate yourself about mental health
and help break down the myths and stereotypes.
Together, we can shape the dialogue about mental health within our community.
One word to describe competing for SFU is tradition.
My word is success.
Determination.
Experience.
Inspiring.
One word to describe competing for SFU is excellence.
It is family.
Passion.
My word is pride.
Opportunity.
My word is patriotic.
I am Sophie Swan.
I am Adam Jones.
I am Peyton Smith.
I am Justin Guerin.
I am Victoria Saunders.
I am Braden Charlton.
I am Michaela Guerrero.
I am Graham Miller.
I am Christine Howlett.
I am Adrian Vanderhelm.
I am Michelle Waters, and we are proud to be on Canada's NCAA team.
And welcome back, everybody. Terry Fox Field, Simon Fraser University. GNAC football getting ready for the second half of Simon Fraser versus Azusa Pacific. And that first half of play, all Azusa Pacific, and we have our stats package here ready to let you know that Azusa Pacific produced 2 100-yard rushers in that opening half of play. It was the starter Scobie, 10 carries for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the quarterback Elfers, 6 carries for 113 yards, 108 yards, check that, and 1 touchdown as well. An 18-yard average for Andrew Elfers of Azusa Pacific, the quarterback who cut a wide swath through that Simon Fraser defense in the opening half of play. 53-0 is the score. From the rest of the box score here for Azusa Pacific. Elfers 5 of 6 for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just haven't had to pass the ball. High efficiency when they do. Did a good job of getting all of that stuff done to just have a huge advantage in that opening half of play. For Simon Fraser, Miles Richardson, the quarterback, under duress, under pressure the entire half. 8 of 21 for 74 yards. Sacked twice, has thrown 2 interceptions. Tough sledding for Simon Fraser in that opening half of play. The leading rusher actually is McCabe, 1 carry for 34 yards. Richardson, 6 carries for 48 yards, but 15 yards in losses, so 33 net yards there. And Jalen Jana, the starting running back, a real tough time there. 4 carries for 3 yards and a 0.8 yards per carry average. So that Azusa defense teeing off on Simon Fraser in that opening half of play. Some of the other highlights for Simon Fraser from the receiving department. Cobb, 3 catches for 28 yards. And Ryzen John, 1 carry for 27 yards. And you saw that great catch on the far sideline in between 2 Azusa Pacific defenders. I believe I hear the voice of TSN's Farhan Lalji on the stadium microphone here. He'll be actually joining us, I think, for part of this second half. Well, we'll throw to the honoring being done on the field here. Farhan Lalji on hand for the ceremonies, and we'll let them take it away.
With some of the greatest athletes that have come through this school, players that are in the CFL right now, members of Canadian national teams in a variety of sports, Olympic teams. He's helped out with professional camps. He was with the BC Lions during this training camp. He knows it all, and the athletes have really benefited by having him be a part of their lives and be a part of this athletic program. So right now I'd like to call Mark Bailey from the SFU Football Alumni Society to present a plaque to Al. Congratulations, Al, on 33 years. Have you got any story you want to tell? You get one story.
How much time do I have?
Not very much.
Oh, really? Hey, I got to say this. This is a sport, particularly, that's played with your heart. You surround your people that play with heart. You work with people that play with heart. To be on this field, you have to have heart and then some. It was easy to fix because everybody we played or everybody we trained and treated were great. For me, it was a joy to actually work here, surrounded again by people who were terrific themselves. Couldn't have done it without them. But also as a football player, there's many pains they have, but you know, with a good, strong heart, you'll repair yourself. It was our role to make the actual student athlete a active participant in their own recovery. It's easy if you have a heart. And I know everyone here and every athlete that I've ever treated had lots of heart and then some. Enough to share with family, friends, and to stay on the field. Thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate that.
So Farhan Lalji of TSN with Al Best being honored on the field, the longtime trainer of Simon Fraser Clan Athletics. A great moment for that Clan football tradition here on the field, and now we're back to the main event here, the second half. Simon Fraser would obviously love to build some traction here if they can, and in advance of next week's game in Ellensburg against Central Washington. 53-0 the score here. Simon Fraser taking it on the chin in that opening half of play. And you've heard of the domino effect when one part of the attack not working, so many other things break down, and it's been really tough, and we're had a really tough one in the opening half of play. And we're getting ready for the opening kick of the second half here from the Simon Fraser clan. And that is the freshman out of Ferndale, Washington, Patrick Hegarty. Met his parents before the game in the clan parking lot here, and excited to come and watch their son play. The Ferndale Golden Eagles, of course, the same high school program that produced quarterback Jake Locker. Hegarty with a kick in the return here now by the Cougars. Up to about the 41-yard line there for Scobie, the starting running back on this football team. So Azusa Pacific now taking over 1st and 10, just shy of midfield here, with a 53-0 lead. Everything going their way in the opening half. The Clan, as we mentioned, a couple of big plays in the first quarter really led to their undoing. One was a turnover at the 35-yard line, a fumble that set Azusa Pacific up for an easy opening possession score. The next one was a hold in the end zone, resulting safety, but wipes out a great catch near midfield by Gavin Cobb that would have had Simon Fraser on the march. And the dominoes all fell from there. 53-0 is the score here. Change in the quarterbacks here for Azusa Pacific.
Tyrone Williams in at quarterback. Enough for a first down.
So Tyrone Williams, the redshirt freshman from Merced, California, now in the game at quarterback. We mentioned Andrew Elfers rushing for over 100 yards in that opening half for the Cougars. Azusa Pacific with 200-yard rushers. Both he and Kurt Scobie break the century mark in the opening half of play. Snapping the handoff there to Scobie. Early success, breaks the tackle out to the 30-yard line and more. Down the sideline, Scobie going for the end zone, and will dive into the end zone for the touchdown. There are no flags on the field. And that is a 48-yard run for a touchdown by Kurt Scobie. Just a simple handoff in the backfield, and there they go. Azusa Pacific right down the field. And again, breaking through a host of tacklers. Well, less than a minute in, and already a touchdown on the board for Azusa Pacific. You hope the halftime brings out some resolve defensively, but again, here come the Cougars, and they're ready to tack on the single here to make it. That single here would make it 60-0. Indeed, that is the case here. So Simon Fraser behind the 8 ball before they even get a chance to touch the football.
Fans, again, if you're hungry, join us down on the track level for $2 Yokabai burgers, $3 cheeseburgers. As well, we've got...
As we mentioned, the change in quarterbacks, we saw Tyrone Williams, 6'3", 215, a redshirt freshman from Merced High School in California, in place of the starter, Andrew Elfers. And his first series with the team resulting in a quick touchdown, a couple of plays, and right down the field for Azusa Pacific. Simon Fraser now getting a chance with Gavin Cobb and Jalen Jana back to receive this kickoff. Cobb having 7 kickoff returns, so you got to give up a lot of touchdowns. Or scores 7 kickoff returns for 114 yards, including a 30-yarder in that opening half of play. Last week, I believe it was 6 for 224. So although not getting the same yardage totals, on track for that, things continue. That kickoff going out of bounds at about the 5, right in front of Cobb. Simon Fraser highlights in that opening half, few and far between, but was good to see Horizon John get on the football field, and know how hard that young man has worked to get in the lineup for Simon Fraser, and to see him come on the field and make a big catch there. One of the big gains for the Clan in that opening half of play. That catch by Horizon John, a 27-yard reception. So a 15-yard penalty tacked on for unsportsmanlike conduct here to Azusa Pacific is going to march the ball right to the midfield stripe here for the Simon Fraser Clan. 1st and 10 from their 50-yard line. That's where Miles Richardson will try to kickstart this offense. Gavin Cobb, the man in motion, number 11. Snap out of the gun here, and Richardson very quickly to Cobb. Cobb trying to weave his way, gets about a gain of maybe 3.5 yards. Well, they're just going to give him a couple there. Marked out to about the 48-yard line of the Cougars. Mentioned as well the injury in the opening half of play to Justin Buren, the leading receiver on this team, wearing number 15, unable to return to action, and Dallas Dixon has come in to take a lot of those snaps. Take the handoff, pass the ball back to Jalen Jana, and he is going to get wrestled down for a loss on the play. They're going to lose about 7 yards on the play. So 3rd and extremely long here for the Clan. 3rd and 16, it looks like. Richardson going to Jana in the backfield, but don't know if they meant that kind of a lateral on the play, and Jana just couldn't escape it and ended up losing yardage on the play. Durkin comes up to our near sideline, a handoff to Jana up the middle, but he's met immediately and taken down shy of the original line of scrimmage. I'll check that. That was Nathan Kayemi. Nathan Kayemi, number 1, not number 10. Apologies with that carry. So the Clan will have to kick it away. Hegarty, the freshman, in to kick. Kick will go out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. I'll call it the 20-yard line. McDaniel was there. Gonna let you know about the SFU Spirit Shop, the place to go for SFU branded clothing and merchandise. Proud to support SFU athletics. It's located at the Burnaby campus in the Maggie Benson Center. Pick up your SFU athletics gear today. Charter Bus Lines, the official motor coach of SFU athletics, proud to support SFU football and all Clan sports teams. Charter is dedicated to providing safe and comfortable transportation to your games throughout the Pacific Northwest. You can visit them at charterbuslines.com. And we've mentioned it, we'll mention it again, a heavy sports menu today at Simon Fraser and at Clan TV. The volleyball team follows at 5 o'clock, the men's soccer team at 7. So find your place on the dial of Clan TV, and you've got an entire day's worth of entertainment here coming to you from on top of Burnaby Mountain. McDaniel with the carry there, a gain of about 2 yards, and a Simon Fraser player down again. Trying to get a number here on the injured Clan player. The training staff out to tend to him. We'll take a short break here and be back with more on Clan TV in just a moment.
To me, one word to describe competing for SFU is inspiring, because every day I get to train alongside some of the best athletes from different teams. Their accomplishments push me to work hard so I can leave a legacy on my program. I'm Christine Howlett, and I'm proud to be on Canada's NCAA volleyball team.
And we're back with you, Terry Fox Field, Simon Fraser University. Kyle Wilson, a key member of the line, being helped off the field right now. Hope he's okay. They certainly have leaned on him. Big number 90 this season. 2-yard gain there for McDaniel on the last carry. Call it 2nd and 8 here for Azusa Pacific from their own 21-yard line. Going down the field and finding a man wide open, and that's number 80, Lindsay, and he will score. Brenston Lindsay, the junior wide receiver out of Warren Robins, Georgia, with a big catch there from the quarterback Tyrone Williams. I'll take a look at that play on the Clan TV replay monitor, and what a catch there. Lindsay will go right down the field and score, wide open. And a switch in quarterbacks hasn't dulled the effectiveness of this Azusa Pacific offense. They continue to roll up the score here. Pending the extra point, it will be 67-0. Up and good for a 67-0 lead, and there's been some big scores put up on the Clan over the years, but boy, this is one of those days, unfortunately, for Simon Fraser Clan football. I remember a day early in their years of CIS, dropping the game to Manitoba. I believe they were shut out, and Manitoba had hit the 70s in that game, but 67-0 with 11:36 left in the third quarter. That's the interesting part. We've just started the second half, and it's 67-0 for Azusa Pacific here today. We certainly don't know what we anticipated, but certainly not a score of this magnitude, because Simon Fraser, although they gave up 75 last week at Humboldt, were trailing 21-14 with about 4 minutes left in the opening half of play down at Humboldt State. So certainly a quality first half turned in by Simon Fraser against Humboldt State, and a 35-7 loss here to Texas A&M Kingsville. Certainly a more thoroughly complete defensive effort by the Clan. Correction, that Humboldt State scored 72-14 last week. Azusa's low driving kick's going to go out of bounds around the 5-yard line. Cobb, last couple, has not had a chance to return the football. Simon Fraser just want to find something positive here in the second half of play if they can. We'll start from their own 35-yard line. Quick pass to Jana out of the backfield. Jalen Jana with his biggest gain of the day, coming out of the backfield as a receiver. The first down and more past midfield. 67-0 trailing, but a nice 17-yard gain, as you'll see on the replay here. Jana turning on the Jets. Really a nice quality play there by Jalen Jana, the former St. Thomas More Knight. Drew Kafasi, the freshman linebacker, on him on the sidelines to make the stop, but Jana with a great job there to give the Clan one of their rare forays past midfield in this football game. 4 minutes into the second half here. Simon Fraser would love to think they've got something going here if they can build on the pass to Jana. 6 first downs in that opening half of play, their first one here. Here's Richardson near sidelines. Nice play there by Durkin. He gets the toe down at the Azusa 38-yard line. Call it the 39, so a gain of 7 yards there, but Durkin, nice pattern there. Getting to the ball and getting that toe down, as you saw on the Clan TV replay. Our thanks to producer engineer Gabe Lynn for all the great work from Production Central and everyone on this Clan TV staff. Richardson, quick toss. Some miscommunication there as they were looking for Cobb. And Cobb hadn't turned around when the pass came down. He was just out of the neighborhood as well. So that's going to bring up 3rd and short here. Third and short, but that Simon Fraser running game really not able to provide you with the reliability that you want on a 3rd down play. They fake the hand off to Jana. Richardson will keep it and get the 1st down. And there's one thing Richardson has done well, it's scramble. Take a look at the replay as Richardson goes for about 9 yards on this play. He's taking his shots back there, but finding an effective way to get the ball moving downfield. So the Clan with back-to-back 1st downs might be the first time in this game that they've had back-to-back 1st downs. And they are 1st and 10 at the Azusa 30-yard line. 5 minutes into this 3rd quarter of play. Richardson will hand it off to Jana. Great move by Jalen down to the far sidelines, and Jalen Jana, another 1st down. Great run by Jana. Take a look at the replay there. Is Jana real instinctive as he finds his way to the far sideline. So Simon Fraser got something going here now as they get to 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Not sure if they're calling it 1st and goal or not, but they are balls right at the 10-yard line. Richardson out to Jana, swings it out. Jana puts on a move, tries a straight arm, and will gain maybe a yard on the play. Azusa doing a great job there. I believe that was Shocks that got out there wide for the stop. Good job there by the Azusa defense. They're going to keep it at 2nd and 10 here. Ryson John, number 19 in the game, lined up in the slot right now for Simon Fraser. Richardson sees him, goes to him. Ryson John, the touchdown! Simon Fraser, Ryson John, the big target. And they were eyeing each other right from the outset. Ryson John hauls in the pass. Great job there by Ryson John, who made that big 27-yard catch on the far sideline in the opening half of play. Ryson John, a great play there, and the great story with Ryson John, he's actually his first name after Andre Bad Moon Ryson. And they're pronounced exactly the same way. Ryson John, 6'7", didn't even have to leap for that one. He was wide open near the back of the end zone. The extra point there is good by the Clan, and Simon Fraser finally on the scoreboard. So a great scramble there by Richardson to get the drive jump started, and a nice pass there in the end zone of the Vancouver College Fighting Irish alum Ryson John for the touchdown, 67-7 rather. Check the score there. Simon Fraser getting on the scoreboard for the first time today. Well, we hope you're enjoying today's SFU football game on the Clan TV live stream. It's brought to you in part by a number of fine sponsors, the SFU Spirit Shop, Charter Bus Lines of BC, and by the Hilton Vancouver Metrotown Hotel. You can also watch the games not only streamed live in HD at athletics.sfu.ca live, also on demand at athletics.sfu.ca/on demand, and that goes for all sports here from Simon Fraser. From soccer to volleyball to basketball to football. A chance for that and more great success today, we're understanding, by that Clan cross-country team at the University of Minnesota today, of all places. So a great job there by Britt Townsend and her team, especially on the women's side. Understand Julia Howley, another great performance for that Clan cross-country team. You can read all about that later in the week at varsityletters.ca. BC's most trusted sports source for high school and university sports, varsityletters.ca. Hope you'll join me there, Howard Sumura, as I present news from around the university and high school world in the province of British Columbia. Talked about the amount of reps this Simon Fraser defense is getting. They were getting them in very precarious positions on the field in the opening half of play, and we mean backed up to their own end zone on so many possessions. Now this time actually have Azusa Pacific on the other side of the 50. We'll see what they can get done here as the new quarterback Tyrone Williams goes to work. Williams keeps it himself, heads out towards the first down marker. It'll be about 2 or 3 yards short probably. And a nice gain there, but what a throw he made as well for the long touchdown strike here in this third quarter of play. 8:19 remaining in the third quarter. Howard Sumura here, Clan TV. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast from wherever you may be watching. The only non-U.S. school in the NCAA, the Simon Fraser University Clan, playing host to Azusa Pacific here, GNAC football. A handoff that's going to go nowhere, met by a swarm of Simon Fraser tacklers, and that's Cal Reddick. Kyle Wilson, great to see Kyle back in the game after being helped off the field. He's back into the game and comes through with a stop there.
Third down, folks. Let's hear it.
So 3rd and about 6 here from the 41-yard line of the Cougars. Williams out of the shotgun. Reddick in the backfield with him, awaiting the snap. Stepping up in the pocket, looking for a man to the near sidelines, and he has him. Making the catch on his knees is number 80, Brenston Lindsay. Of course, Lindsay, the guy who found himself wide open to catch that long touchdown strike early in this third quarter of play. From Tyrone Williams. Williams, of course, a redshirt freshman out of Merced High School, Merced, California. This Simon Fraser team, very, very, very young, and one look at their roster will show you how few juniors and seniors they have on this team. It's a team filled with freshmen and sophomores. And they're learning a lot about the game of football here today as they get in and are able to take Williams down. Jacob Mosel there with the tackle. Loss of a couple yards there, and Simon Fraser, the defense, holding true against Azusa Pacific, although Azusa using a lot of their roster here in their trip up to Canada with that huge 67-7 lead. Here's Williams. Quick pass to McDaniel, who is straining for that first down marker. He may have gotten it. We'll see where the spot is. It looks like he will get it, but a flag thrown on the field. So Bellini in there with the tackle. Flag down at the 50-yard line. Holding against Azusa Pacific is the call. Penalty declined. Azusa Pacific facing a 3rd and 10 here. And maybe a chance for the Clan defense to maybe build a little positive momentum here in the film room this week. Get a nice stop here and see if they can't get the offense some good field position. Whistles blow on the snap. Azusa Pacific calling a timeout. First charge timeout for Azusa Pacific here in the second half of play. Simon Fraser football, the team that's recruiting very heavily, obviously, from the local BC high school system. And some great games yesterday played in BC high school football, the kinds of schools that Simon Fraser is bringing talent in from, especially at that freshman and sophomore kind of area right now. And the team pretty close to here, Simon from Terry Fox Secondary School, check that, ranked #1 in the BC AAA ranks, come through with a big win yesterday as well. New Westminster ranked #2 at AAA, come through with a victory. So the best teams in the province yesterday at the highest tier, both coming through with victories. 3rd and long here for Williams and the Cougars. He's facing the pressure, steps up in the pocket, delivers the ball downfield, has a man, and he's going to get taken down, but not before a big gain there for number 12, Ronnie Hawley. That deep ball from Williams is finding a lot of success. So 1st and goal inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line for Azusa Pacific already with that 67-7 lead. Williams with Reddick in the backfield. The handoff, Reddick is going to have clear sailing to the end zone. Zakel Reddick, that redshirt freshman, has been very effective with his reps here on the field today. He's going to go into the end zone. Make it a 73-7 game. It sounds odd to even say those numbers in a football game, but 73-7.
They tricked me.
Local high school game a couple of weeks ago that was the talk of the BC football world. South Delta.
I'm sorry, I really thought
From Tawasin, British Columbia, going down south to play Squalicum, I believe it was, on a Friday night game in Bellingham. And South Delta lost the game 85-70 as the Cougars attempt the extra point here. It is up and it is through for a 74-7 lead. Squalicum won the game 85-70, but the South Delta quarterback, Michael Calvert, passed for 654 yards and 7 touchdowns in that football game. And the amazing part there, and he said to me after, how did I pass for 654 yards and we lost the football game? But that's what happened down there, the highest scoring game, we believe, involving a BC high school team in provincial high school history. And that a couple of weeks ago at Civic Stadium in Bellingham. So Simon Fraser getting burned by the long ball again, right up the middle of the field. It's happened on a couple of occasions here. Ever since Tyrone Williams has come in, he's been looking pretty confident there as he steps up in the pocket, delivers that deep ball at 6'3" and 195 pounds. Done a good job since replacing Andrew Elfers at the half. Elfers, of course, didn't have to throw a whole lot of passes in that first half. 5 of 6 for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 47-yard strike in that opening half of play. But he also rushed 6 times for 113 yards. So the impact that Elfers had on the game, obviously substantial as the Cougars kick off.
I think it's
just 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Gavin Cobb with a football up across the 30.
Yeah.
Gavin Cobb pushed it bounds at about the SFU 32-yard line. Simon Fraser will take over from there. 1st and 10.
Of course, Simon Fraser's big scoring play here, the pass in the end zone to Ryzen John, the sophomore out of Vancouver College. Big high school news yesterday. Vancouver College actually losing on the island to the Belmont Bulldogs in Victoria. A bit of a stunner there in Western Conference League play. Ryzen John's old school. Here's Richardson looking for a man down the field. And Jana, I believe that was outstretched with one arm there to knock it out of bounds. Make sure it wasn't intercepted.
2nd and 10.
And you're seeing the pressure that Miles Richardson is under back there. He's constantly under pressure and constantly having to launch that ball under duress. And that kind of pressure can take the artistic value out of your delivery. So Clan 2nd and 10 at the 32. To the near side of the field is Durkin. Cobb lined up in the slot. Ooh, Richardson is going to lose the ball. It's scooped up, and it's going to be taken into the end zone for a touchdown. And that's number 18, we believe, of Azusa Pacific, Robert Bohanna, 6'2" defensive end, a sophomore out of Fresno, California.
Takes it into the end zone. And touchdown, Cougars.
Richardson, it's incredible how quickly Azusa Pacific gets into that Clan backfield, and they force the turnover. Richardson just fighting for his life back there, and Bohanna able to scoop it up and go right into the end zone for the touchdown, and it's getting ugly. We're going to be joined by Farhan Lalji of TSN in just a second here as they line up for the extra point. And it is through and good for an 81-7 lead. And that microphone is not working on your headset, so we're just going to give you this handheld. No, you can listen through here, though.
I can hear you anyway, Howard.
You can.
I'm right next to you.
And you know a bit about broadcasting anyway, right?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit. So Farhan Lalji joining us right now, and great to be able to. I know it's not a typically memorable Simon Fraser football Saturday here, Farhan, but nice to see Al Best being honored.
Yeah, Al Best, longtime trainer, 33-year career up here, and when I was trying out for the football team myself back in the late 80s, I remember I had a knee injury on the field over there to the right, and the first guy there was Al Best, and then I worked here for 3 years in the 90s and as sports information director, and I had a chance to get to know Al a lot better and work with him closer with different athletes and things like that, and he's just a good man. And this university has so many of those. You know, Lori Freebairn, who was involved in the athletic department, retired 2 years ago. So to lose Lori and Al, now it really is the end of an era and some big shoes to fill for the guys taking it over.
Well, you've had a wonderful career, but those who haven't known you from the start, like I have, know that you were formerly the sports information director here. What were the years that you were here?
91 to 94.
91 to 94. I started at the province, and right in that time.
Yeah.
And that's a long time ago. As Cobb gets out of the way of that. Your thoughts right now? I mean, this is an awfully tough situation for Kelly Bates, and they're trying to build young. They're a very, very young team this year. Very few juniors and seniors. Does your heart go out to what he's trying to do here?
Yeah, Kelly and I are pretty close, and I know his family very well, and we've spent a lot of time together while he was a professional player and now, and we talk a lot, every couple of days, and I absolutely feel for him because he's a better coach than what the product you're seeing would demonstrate. And I know that there's going to be a decision to be made this offseason about what to do, and I certainly hope that he gets a chance to see this situation through because they've got 11 upperclassmen, Howard. They are children playing against men and good football players. I had just looking at the roster coming off the field at halftime, and I'm just looking at these guys and they're boys that I coached against in high school a year or 2 years ago, right? And they're not redshirting there; they're out in the field playing, and I absolutely feel for them. And these games have a way of getting away from you, when you play teams as good as Azusa and Humboldt and Central and the teams in these conferences. It's a tough league that they're playing in. They're undermanned, but you know what? They're game. And I'm that guy that always kind of looks for positives, and I look at Miles Richardson, and he's played his tail off in this game. The guy doesn't stop competing. He scrambles when needed. He plays with confidence and is doing everything he can given the situation that's in front of him right now. And I think a lot of good lessons are being learned that if Kelly gets to see this through in the next 2 years, I think you're going to see massive improvements as those kids that are underclassmen, 50-plus underclassmen, become upperclassmen.
And Jana with a catch there, gain of about 5 yards, so Simon Fraser trying to move the ball downfield. What's your thought on, BC high school football talent being able to keep this program growing and vibrant? Is that possible? Do they have to be going outside the province? How do you look at that?
I think you do have to go outside the province, and that's not to say that the players in this province aren't good. I'm a big fan of the quality of high school football in this province, and I think you can make your base BC players, but you need to be able to get a couple of, key kids out of Alberta, 3 or 4 key kids out of Ontario, and probably 5 or 6 key kids out of the United States, out of the Pacific Northwest and Washington and Oregon. But you can still have 15 players in your recruiting class from BC every year, but you've got to get the top guys, and certainly the school across campus is offering them a lot, and there's a lot of resources there, along with a much easier path to success because of the Canada West and how those playoff berths are structured and things like that. So but I do know this. I do know that the high school coaches in the province still think highly of the program here at SFU, think highly of Kelly Bates as a person. And the narrative amongst high school people is not, don't go to SFU, they're not winning, right? It's, you should consider playing for Coach Bates because he's a good man and a good coach, and you'd learn a lot as a person and develop a lot in a number of areas if you come up here. And if you're part of the turnaround, then that's even better.
Well, what's the narrative like with you, if you don't mind me asking you, when you have a player, one of your players at New Westminster Secondary comes up to you and says, Coach, I've got this offer in youth sports, I've got potential at Simon Fraser. What do you say to them?
It's all of that. I lay it out, and I don't want to be biased in any direction. I've got relationships with people at at the other school across campus. I've certainly got a great relationship with Kelly Bates, and it really comes down to fit, right? And there's some players that just want to go away, and I think the opportunity to go away to school is also a great thing, and that's why Ontario and Alberta kids should consider coming here, right? The chance to go to a different part and experience that is a positive for a number of kids. So for me, I just tell them that, look, you got to figure out what's right for you. You're going to go, you're going to get a vibe from the coaching staff and the players around you and make a decision. But my big thing for players, make your decision based on academics, because and life considerations. Don't make your decision based on football, regardless of where you want to go, because it's 5 years of your life that are core, essential parts of your life to development, and the education that you're going to get and the life experience you're going to get are more important than football.
What do you think just overall of GNAC football? I'm not going to ask you the question compared to youth sports.
You can ask me the comparison. Well, Division II football is better than CIS football, and I've said that to CIS people who don't like hearing it. It's better than CIS football. You talk to most CFL personnel people, they will tell you the exact same thing, that Division II football, they're getting prepared at a higher level. Now, that's not to say that CIS players aren't great and can't do the job at a high level. I'm not suggesting that, but in my estimation, the general median line of CIS is probably somewhere between Division II and Division III. And the GNAC conference is a very good one. I mean, you look at the team you're seeing out here right now, Azusa Pacific, Humboldt, Central, Western Oregon. They're all big-time programs with big-time athletes, with kids that have been playing football longer than most Canadian kids have been playing. So, I just, it's not all the look test, the height and weight test compared to Division I, but there's an intrinsic understanding of football that some of these kids have, and they've developed it at an earlier level than Canadian kids do.
Well, Simon Fraser, the punt is blocked into the end zone. Things just not going the way of the Clan here.
Thankfully, that's a safety. Because we're all a little nervous about that number at the end of this that the scoreboard can't handle.
Yeah.
Because that'll make national headlines.
Yeah, don't want to see that, most definitely. 45 seconds left here in the third quarter. It's Farhan Lalji from TSN, joining us here on the second half of this broadcast. And the score got out of hand really quickly. Simon Fraser fumbled at its own 35 on its first possession and then got called for a holding penalty end zone on its second.
I was here for all of it.
I mean, but I'm just saying, even though the score is this high, take those two out of it and perhaps something different happens and it's not so one-sided. But a young team, when that's presented to them early on, can really make a difference.
Oh, for sure. I mean, no matter how hard Kelly tries to keep these guys positive, they're fragile. 3 years of losing is going to do that to you, and it's very easy to just go back to the here we go again mentality. And I'm sure that there's players that are battling themselves to kind of figure it out, and that's probably the biggest challenge Kelly's going to have in the next couple of years if he gets an opportunity to stay with this and turn it around, is that you've got to redevelop a belief and a culture that you can win. And I think he's going to have the players to do that. Last week's game, they were at Humboldt, and I think it was 21-14 at halftime, right?
Close to the half, yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it kind of gets away from you, and they don't need much to go wrong for them to lose belief. And I think that's as much a challenge as anything right now for the Clan.
A low kick there from Hegarty, the freshman out of Ferndale, Washington. Azusa Pacific right up to midfield, and great field position for them again. Hey, just talk about a kind of football utopia here. If you can get Simon Fraser football to have a rise in fortunes, if you can keep UBC football where it is, and you can get the Shrum Bowl going again, just talk about what that could potentially do, just for the whole football community here in the province of British Columbia.
Well, I think that we've got to get the Clan back to a level where they've been in the past, right? And and even if that means 500 at this stage, right? Because the NCAA, we talked about it being better than U Sports, but it's better than what the NAIA was back in the day when you and I first got involved in this business and were involved in this program. But it would be great, in terms of that rivalry, that signature focus game for everybody in the community, the football community to watch. Certainly at UBC, their homecoming game, they draw a great crowd out for that, and it's a good deal. But the general football populace, that's a campus thing, right? It's not a general football thing that the Shrum Bowl can become. And I just think it creates so much more attention on amateur football in general. It would be good for both programs. It would be good for high school football to have signature games like that for people to gravitate to. I remember when both schools would sell out their stadiums for those games. I remember 7,000 people plus being at Swangard Stadium when SFU hosted it, and Steve Frost was the sports information director in his first life, right? And, I remember those things from the 80s and 90s, and it was good for everybody. I mean, it was a signature game. Even, CFL scouts marked it down in their calendar. There was a lot of positive to it, and I think it's unfortunate that it's gone away, but I don't think there's any incentive on UBC's part to want to bring that game back. I don't think they believe there's anything to be gained, because if you lose to a struggling program, which could happen given this is, a higher level of opponent they're dealing with, that's difficult for them to then rationalize any playoff success that they have.
I think athletic directors don't need to really be thinking big picture. They're going to have their ebbs and flows over the course of many years. But
at UBC football, people are making decisions.
Yeah.
People directly involved with the football program are making those decisions. So I know that the presidents of both schools have gotten involved, but the UBC football program wants nothing to do with it.
Well, this is the longest drought in the entire history of the Shrum Bowl series where we're at right now. I can't remember how many years it is, but officially the longest drought as of this year. So hopefully things start to happen in a positive way. We're going to start the fourth quarter in a second, but I just wanted to ask you about the high school football season at the top end of AAA, where your New Westminster Hayeks are currently ranked number 2. Terry Fox ranked number 1. They came through with an impressive win yesterday. What are your thoughts on the upper level of AAA football, the high school level this year?
Well, first of all, I think that our conference, the AAA Western Conference, is just a beast. I think 8 of the top 10 teams in the province are playing in that conference right now, and there's been ebbs and flows in the cycle. There a few years back, there was certainly a belief that the East was a little stronger, but it's never been this one-sided. 8 teams. You saw yesterday Belmont. I think a lot of people at the start of the season probably would have said Belmont was improved and much better, but they'll probably still be 7 or 8 in the West, and they go out and beat Vancouver College, which just shows you how tough the conference is. And in the other side, you've certainly got Terry Fox, which is always good. Lord Tweedsmuir is very good as well. A group that won the JV championship a year ago. So, so very good teams there as well. And I think that, at the end, it's so competitive in this province. When you get to those Final 4 and Final 6 teams, anybody can win. It really is who's playing the best on any given day. I know you do the ranking, so thanks for putting us number 2. Thankfully, you didn't make us number 1 and put the ultimate bullseye on our back. But those top programs are all capable of beating anybody. Even Siakam, newcomer to AAA, won by 3 touchdowns against Notre Dame, a good Notre Dame team. So the top of AAA is very good, and the Western Conference is exceptional.
Well, you know what? Simon Fraser, Kelly Bates has continually told me about wanting to obviously improve depth. They can get off to a disciplined start in a football game, 21-14, like they did in Humboldt last week. They just don't have the depth, and all of a sudden you see the dam breaks. People talk about your football team this year as having a great amount of depth and speed on your football team. Would you say those are 2 of the qualities of the Hayeks this year?
I think so, yeah. I mean, we were a fast, athletic team to begin with, and then we were able to add one more kid in the offseason who transferred in. And that's just given us another explosive element in the pass game. So I think we've got a number of weapons, and I do think we've got some depth up front. We make it a real priority on the offensive and defensive lines to rotate through a lot of guys in meaningful time. So our line coaches are responsible for managing those rotations, and they're getting guys in, and we don't get into the habit of saying, no, this is too important, let the first stringers play.
Yeah.
So I do think we probably have some depth to potentially withstand injuries, and for a variety of reasons, the way the schedule has gone for us, we're surprisingly healthy going into this time of year. We played Mount Doug yesterday. They, of course, don't have their star quarterback, Gideon Kremler, and they lost a lineman, Phil Groviak, and one other player last week, because you're relying on a smaller roster. And that happens everywhere. But so far, touch wood, we've been able to stay healthy. And I think we have the depth to manage a few injuries. Now, look, everybody has those key guys, and for us, it's no different. Like, you don't replace a Sammy Sadu, you don't replace a Sebastian Reed, you don't replace there's a couple of other guys in our team like that. But nice one-handed catch.
Gavin Cobb pulls it in with one hand. You saw it right there in your Client TV screen. Down to the 37-yard line, a big catch. You're just talking about Mount Douglas.
Well, I was on the flight with Gavin Cobb last year when the team was traveling to Texas for a game, and we were talking about the game we'd played against them 2 years ago on Mount Douglas's field, 28-21 game, and Gavin Cobb was the star of that team. Ryzen John, who just got eligible this week and scored the touchdown for SFU. These are guys I coached against 2 years ago. They're children now. They were playing last year as true freshmen.
Richardson again to Cobb on the near sideline here, knocked it out of bounds at about the 43-yard line.
Look at Gavin Cobb right now.
Yeah.
He's still skinny. And I'm saying that because he's playing so hard and so well at such a high level of football, and he's yet to physically develop, right? I mean, when this guy gets to be a senior, right, fully expect him to be one of the, considered for a first-round selection in the CFL draft. Ryzen John the same. I mean, when these guys actually get to develop, it's going to be fun to watch.
Well, I hope everyone's listening to Farhan Lalji at TSN here. Really patience for Kelly Bates in the program. He pulls that one in, and it's a completion right at the sticks for Gavin Cobb. Looks like he's going to get the first down. They will indeed move the sticks. So
clearly only one of his hands has developed because he's made back-to-back one-handed catches now.
Well, Gavin Cobb, as Kelly Bates told me earlier in the week, doesn't pass the eye test. I mean, you kind of talked about looks pretty frail almost, but
absolutely
fearless on the field and does such a great job.
And to return that many kicks, can't be easy.
Yeah, he is getting his reps on the field today. Farhan, we'll just keep you for a couple more minutes if you don't mind. We'll just...
It's like we're doing varsity letters right here.
We could be doing a podcast. I got to get the podcast going again as the Cougars get into the backfield there and get to Miles Richardson. We're just being told by our producer, Gabe Lynn, 83 points, a new GNAC scoring record, 83 points. But you talked about where we don't want this to go to. Let's hope the Clan can get things together here as they march up the field here.
And I look at Miles Richardson, and he's taken every snap in this game, and the guy just continues to battle, and there's some offensive line mismatches. But, nonetheless, he's doing everything he can to keep plays alive and scramble around and look for somebody.
And here he goes, scrambling, as Farhan says, to the far sideline. Breaks a tackle there, breaks another out to about the 48-yard line. So some scrambling there from Richardson, who's taken some pops in this game. Boy.
If that kid was Canadian, he'd get an opportunity to play in the CFL as an athlete. I'm not suggesting as a quarterback, but he's shown enough in the things I've seen this season that he'd have to get considered.
Was that Eastern Washington when Vernon Adams was there, and a guy who, decided to come up north here.
There you go, Howard, bringing up the Oregon guys.
I have to do it once today. Simon Fraser here trying to get something going. Of course, the scoring play in the second half, a nice touchdown pass to Ryson John, as Farhan mentioned, got academically ineligible this week. Got him in the lineup, and a couple of big catches here for Ryson John.
And a roughing the passer call, it looks like, at the end of the play.
I think you were here with was that your youth football team that was here?
Our peewees were here. Our 5th and 6th grade kids were here.
So taking a chance to watch a college football game here, Simon Fraser football. And
yeah, they have a little program here for kids that they can use the practice field and get a practice in before the game start, and then they greet the players as they come on and off. So just a chance for the kids to get more exposed and develop a deeper love for the game.
Well, I love being with you on the mic. We'll keep you here to the end of this Simon Fraser drive here. And the Clan, rare field position here, down 1st and 10 at the Azusa 25. Richardson takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Jana, sideline looking for Cobb again, tried to pull it in with one hand again, just off the mark there, and incomplete.
Yeah, that throw a little behind Gavin. Looked like he had a bit of a step. If he could have caught it in stride, he could have turned the corner and worked his way down the sideline.
BC AAA MVP his senior year for Mount Douglas.
And I remember when we played them over there, we thought we had him contained. We had a kid named Ben Chernagel who got his first start, and Ben's a track kid who's on a track scholarship this year, and was runner-up in the 100 meters at the provincial meet last year, and he did a great job covering Gavin, but Gavin got his one. Like, you could just contain him, you couldn't shut him down, and wound up scoring the game-winning touchdown in that game.
Well, whistles are going to blow there. Chernagle, I saw him in that 100-meter final. What a sprinter he is. What speed he has. I believe at Trinity Western now.
Rising John got a bit of a jump there.
6'7", 200 pounds. And to see this kid on the basketball, he's the most effortless dunker I've ever seen on a basketball court, Farhan.
You've seen a lot of dunkers in your time.
Wow, I have. But Rising John, I think, would be right at the top of the list. That kid can dunk like it's just the most natural thing he's ever done.
But not a two-sport athlete.
He could play for this Clan basketball team. He was a tremendous player on the court for Vancouver College as well. So here we are now with the Clan. 30-yard line for Richardson. Scrambling, looking downfield, is just going to run down the sidelines and get what he can get here.
And he's looking to run early. And you can't blame him, given the amount of time he's had a pass rush in his face. That's a big challenge for any quarterback when you've been hit a lot, not just in this game, but in this season, to keep your eyes downfield and not your eyes on the pass rush.
I got to ask you this really quickly. Before they snap the ball, people wonder why you're not doing analyst jobs on football broadcasts, and I wonder myself. You're so good at it.
Well, I'm not an ex-CFL player, so those jobs are usually reserved for the guys that did it at the highest level. So,
oh my gosh! Well, I'm privileged.
I feel about it.
Yeah, I can tell, and I love doing this with you here. Richardson again, looking downfield, has got to scramble again. Trying to find somebody downfield, puts it up for grabs. Cobb, nearest receiver in the vicinity, Nate Durkin as well, but that was third down for Simon Fraser.
And I'll tell you this, on the recruiting side, as we were talking about BC high school football, Kelly, Coach Bates has already been out there. I mean, he and his staff, really back since spring ball and even in season, they are spending their time continuously scouring the playing fields around British Columbia and keeping their eyes on the top talent and trying to make an impression in homes. And if they're not succeeding, it's not because of a lack of work. And when you look at some of the talent in those freshman and sophomore classes, there's a group there that can do some things. They do need to find some more linemen. And just in terms of numbers, you need a critical mass to get through the season. It's not just a body count to have depth within your program, but you need to be able to have functional practices, and you need 17, 18 linemen in your program, even at the Division II level, to develop, but just to function properly in practices.
And that's the depth they're trying to build, and as Farhan mentions, and we can all see, tough to do when the team is not winning and you're trying to sell the merits of your program. But Kelly Bates just staying the course here. And
losing those 4 linemen before the season even started.
Certainly.
I mean, that was a tough pill to swallow. He had to take 2 defensive guys and flip them over to offense and play a true freshman in another spot. That is a tough thing to do against this level of competition.
Well, they will go for it on 4th and 10 from the 25. Richardson, the outlet to Jana. Jalen now with the football, tries to put on a spin move there, but he's going to get dragged down. Shy of the first down marker, and Azusa Pacific will take over. Farhan, hey, thanks for coming up and joining us here.
My pleasure, Howard. Anytime I get to talk to you is a good time.
We'll have to have you on the Varsity Letters podcast, which we will get going again, but all the best to your high school football team this year, and we'll be looking for good things from the Hayaks down the road.
Well, thanks, and thanks for everything you do for our sport at all levels, not just out here at SFU games, but the amount of time you put in on Friday nights, getting the high school reports out, and I know you'll be doing some of that later this afternoon. It's yeoman's work. I know that you get paid, but probably not nearly enough. You must be getting paid about $2 an hour for the amount of time you put in, so thank you.
Well, the appreciation like that makes it worth it. Farhan, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Great to see you. Farhan Lalji from TSN, our extended guest here on Clan TV today, as the Azusa Pacific Cougars continue to dominate Simon Fraser. Hope you enjoyed some of the insights of Farhan Lalji, Coach Lalji, to his newest Westminster Hayak players, and a great ambassador of the game of football in the province of British Columbia. Azusa Pacific there with the carry, and some of those comments might resonate with you, Farhan, with his statements here, and one of them, hey, he feels this level of football is on the whole better than U Sports, and that fuels great debate, and obviously that's why we would love to see a Shrum Bowl game being played here annually between UBC and SFU, and maybe if we're lucky, one day that series will resume. I also mentioned to you that that is the longest drought in the long series of that great rivalry between the two crosstown schools. Simon Fraser had a nice drive going there, unable to cash in with the points here. High snap. Jesse Hankel, number 14, is in there at quarterback. He's a 6'3", 210-pound sophomore. Out of Pasadena Community College, wearing number 14. The third quarterback in the game here for Azusa Pacific. In case our listeners were unclear, Farhan Lalji coaches the Newsminster Hayaks AAA high school football team, currently ranked number 2 in the province's highest tier. So one of the contenders for a provincial championship there, of course. Farhan's players have gone on to do good things at the post-secondary level as well, including playing in the CFL and Division I football, as well as both Division II and youth sports football across Canada as well. And Farhan mentioned, and we got to know each other in the mid-'80s. Farhan was the sports information director here, right here at Simon Fraser for a number of years, right around the time that I was working in both the community newspaper business and at the daily newspaper of the province, where I worked for over a quarter century. So our paths have crossed and continue to do so on a weekly, if not daily basis here. Simon Fraser's defense coming up with a stop there. And the punt by the Cougars. Cobb is going to backpedal. It's going to go over his head. Sails down at about the 12-yard line. It's going to get downed inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So the Clan will be backed up deep here. 7:02 remaining in the fourth quarter. Mentioned as well, the Simon Fraser Clan women's soccer team with a 4-2 victory on the road today in Ellensburg against Central Washington. Emma Pringle with 3 goals in that game for Simon Fraser. Get a chance to see the men's team playing here on Fox Field at 7 o'clock. But in between that, Simon Fraser's women's, the volleyball team, will open its home schedule, not even its preseason. It is a GNAC game, but it's their first game at home. They opened the season with 11 straight matches on the road. So head coach Gina Schmidt and her volleyball team set to open the home portion of their schedule in conference play at 5 o'clock right here on Clan TV. Time to let you know about some of our promotional people that are associated with Clan TV, and one of them is the SFU Spirit Shop. SFU branded clothing and merchandise, and they're proud to sponsor SFU Athletics. They're located at the Burnaby campus at the Maggie Benson Center, and that's the place to go to pick up your Clan Athletics gear. The SFU Spirit Shop. 7:02 remaining here. Azusa will re-kick, and this time Cobb is going to charge it and make the catch at about the 40, or rather the 39-yard line. We're going to mark it at the 37, but boy, what kind of duty is Gavin Cobb, number 11, doing? So many of these top programs, you're going to watch a high school freshman or a university freshman coming out of high school will go into a program and, boy, have to play a number of years to break up that depth chart and get into games. Simon Fraser athletes are coming in as pure freshmen and getting starts. They're short on numbers, and young players are getting a chance to play. If your Cobb is one of them, coming in last year as a pure freshman out of Mount Douglas Secondary in Victoria, getting a chance to play immediately and just upping his stock. And as Coach Lalji and I talked earlier, just imagine a couple more years in the weight room and what that is going to do for the frame of Gavin Cobb as he comes out here and continues to improve in this conference. Farhan said a first-round pick in the CFL draft if he continues to progress every year, and clearly he can become a difference maker in this conference at a huge level. So much of that, his grit and determination. Quarterback keeper to the far sideline by Hankel. Hankel's going to gain 7 yards on the play. 2nd and 3 at about the 44-yard line for Azusa Pacific. But 83-7 our score here, 6:29 remaining. This Clan team playing for pride, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Handoff, and they're going to hold him shy of the first down marker, and that was Ray Riley, sophomore out of Chaparral High School in Murrieta, California. So 3rd and short here, call it about 3rd and 2 for Azusa Pacific. Our next Clan TV football broadcast in 2 weeks' time, right here, 1 o'clock, Terry Fox Field, Western Oregon. The Wolves come north to play Simon Fraser. In the meantime, Simon Fraser will be at Ellensburg next week to play Central Washington. Of course, that Central Washington team with a walk-off victory over Azusa Pacific last week, 17-16, knocking Azusa from the national ranking. Tackle made there on the play by Jesse Behringer, the linebacker. Behringer, the redshirt freshman out of Bellevue High School. One of the sports powers in the state of Washington at the prep level. First and 10, Azusa Pacific on Simon Fraser's side of the midfield stripe. We're down to 5:10 remaining. Henkel out of the shotgun. Hand off to Riley up the middle. And he gets taken down at about the Clan 41-yard line. Call it a gain of about 6 yards and make it 2nd and 4. So many big gainers here, you start to lose track of them in this football game. But Simon Fraser wanted that quality start, and the quality start is something that can kind of endure. You can build on that early, and it can carry great momentum into football games. And it might sound somewhat comical to say that in a game where a team scored 83 points, but the way that Simon Fraser gave up its first 2 touchdowns, not the way you want to draw it up, and the perfect way to drain every ounce of momentum that you've spent the week building. Riley again with the ball getting knocked around a bit, but getting close to that first down marker. Will depend on the spot, but I think he got the first down. Indeed, he did. They'll spot the ball at the 35 and move the sticks here for this second unit from Azusa Pacific as they continue their march down the field. Azusa Pacific actually joining this GNAC conference after the Clan. But they clearly have vaulted their program to the higher area of the national rankings in a very quick amount of time. Quality recruiting down in that part of the country. Here's a pitch and a run to the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown for Zakel Reddick. Flags on the play, though. We'll see how this goes, but Reddick, who was the first running back into the game after Scobie in terms of subbing by head coach Victor Santa Cruz. Simon Fraser player down on the field. Not sure. It might be the linebacker Jacob Mozil, number 51. Kelly Bates, the head coach, on the field to check on the status of his player. I think our interview with Farhan Lalji really giving you some insights into the job that Kelly Bates has done here atop Burnaby Mountain and the level of task that he has in trying to build this Clan football team. And you can look throughout NCAA sports and say, which guy has the toughest job? It might be Kelly Bates. He might have the toughest job in all of NCAA sports trying to build this Clan football program. Faced with things like a high academics entrance requirement to get in here, it is indeed Mozilla, and he is going to come off the field under his own power. Good to see number 51, who's played a gutsy role in this game today. But Kelly Bates continues to put his head down and work hard, and heard Coach Lalji talking about his recruiting efforts, everything he's doing. And some of the key words Farhan talked about. Critical mass was one of them as it applied to linemen and getting some kind of a depth chart worth of offensive and defensive linemen into this program just to practice properly. I mean, Simon Fraser can't even do that right now. Just in terms of the rotation and giving their lines competition during the week of practice leading up to games, that is a tough one. And that offensive line, they lost a bunch of linemen right before the season started to injury. And a couple left the program, and boy, all of a sudden you're finding guys from different parts of your team to fill in. Here's Riley. Nice little move, and another second move is a spin move that's going to get him down to about the 27-yard line. So Riley, a good job, first and second effort to make something out of nothing. Turns it into about a 7-yard gain for Azusa Pacific. And that's testament to what we're talking about. Look at the depth and the running back core they've been able to bring in with Gavin McDaniel, Kurt Scobie, Reddick, who just scored the touchdown, and now Riley. 4 guys capable of stepping in there and getting the job done. And Simon Fraser has Jalen Jana right now, and that's it. And they've got an offensive line that is learning to come together. Most of them aren't even natural offensive linemen. So you're going to see the huge difference there, and you look at the scoreboard and you see why. Under 3 minutes remaining now. First down for Azusa Pacific. They'll move the sticks, and the Cougars have another drive going here. In 2 minutes and 40 seconds, not 2 minutes, just having some friendly banter with my producer, Gabe Lynn. We'll be leaving you immediately following this broadcast, so we'll sign off very quickly just to let you know, as volleyball and soccer are part of Clan TV today here on a busy Saturday atop Burnaby Mountain. Taking a knee there and letting the clock run as we get down to about 2:07 remaining in this game. Azusa Pacific are going to get their first win of the GNAC season here today, coming in 0-2. And, of course, trying to put that heartbreak at Central Washington behind them. Just a few seconds left. Central Washington kicking the winning field goal to win 16-14 last week in Ellensburg. And look at the map of Division II football, and boy, there's not a whole lot of teams on the West Coast. But the ones that are in this conference along with Simon Fraser, so many of them happen to be nationally ranked or on the verge of that national ranking. So it is a tough road for Simon Fraser football. And this score might raise some eyebrows, but I'll tell you, they are determined with their task, and they will continue to work and fight under Kelly Bates, and hopefully things will start to improve again, and they can get back to bringing that early focus in games. I can't stress more how much that early start really put Simon Fraser behind the 8 ball today. 1 minute remaining in this game. Simon Fraser volleyball on tap at 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock, the men's soccer team, which played to a draw in its GNAC opener, and we'll see if that affects the national ranking for head coach Clint Schneider and company, ranked number 2 in all of NCAA Division II soccer. Henkel takes an knee down to 40 seconds here. We want to thank everybody on the Clan TV crew for their efforts today, from the camera operators to our announcers to our statisticians to everyone that goes into making Clan TV a success here. Football obviously a big ticket item, and the resources here are plentiful. So thanks to everybody on the crew today. And we would say it's been a real smooth broadcast with everything but the score here as we get down to 13 seconds remaining. We'll take one final knee and bid farewell here from Terry Fox Field, and the final score is the seconds tick down 1-0. 83-7 the score. Simon Fraser on the short end of a score to Azusa Pacific. The Cougars come away with a victory. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with Western Oregon right here on Clan TV. Howard Samura bidding you all farewell, and we'll...